Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Spiritual Chi Recovery. I have a universal synthesis table. Chapter 76. Under the gaze of everyone in the laboratory, Zhang Yingshe pulled Zhang Yan and Tang Ya aside, and said with a terrified face, "Xiaoyan, what do they mean? Why can't I understand?" Tang Ya swallowed her saliva, and her face was full of fear. "I have seen several famous big shots in this laboratory, and I heard them call me an expert. I really don't know whether I am crazy or they crazy." Zhang Yan. He always felt that something was not right. Ni Lin didn't just dig a hole and wait for him to jump down. "Wait a minute, I'll make a call and ask." Zhang Yan took out his mobile phone and called Ni Lin. This time, it took 7 or 8 rings before it was connected. "What's the matter?" Ni Lin's familiar voice came from the phone. "Why did you have people take us to the laboratory of the Artisan Association?" Zhang Yan asked straight to the point without talking nonsense this time. "Oh, didn't I see that you want to listen to the master's lecture? The place I found for you is the place with the most masters in the entire Artisan Association, and it is also the most professional place. Here, you can learn the most cutting-edge alchemy. How about the knowledge of tools? I am reliable in handling things." Ni Lin laughed. Zhang Yan. He suspected that Ni Lin had some strange misunderstandings about the word, reliable. "Can you change the venue?" Zhang Yan discussed. "What are you talking about? The signal here is not very good. Anyway, you can stay in the lab with a few friends at ease. This is much more useful than listening to some bullshit lecture." Ni Lin shouted loudly. "Forget it, I won't tell you anymore. I'm at the airport, let's meet and talk later." After speaking, Ni Lin hung up the phone with a snap. Zhang Yan looked at the screen of the mobile phone, and the veins on his forehead twitched. He shouldn't expect anything from Ni Lin. Facts have proved that this guy is a scam. "Experts, what are you doing standing at the door? Come in." A young man in his early 30s beckoned to Zhang Yan and the three of them enthusiastically. "We are preparing for a meeting to sort out the research we have done during this period. As a result, you may not know much about the progress when you first came, so you can just listen to it." "Well, we actually don't understand anything, so it's really inappropriate to just attend your meeting like this. Let's come back another day." Zhang Yan immediately found a reason to escape. "Why are you being modest? The people Master Ni recruited will make mistakes." The young man would not believe Zhang Yan's words, and directly stepped forward and dragged Zhang Yan into the laboratory. Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya looked at each other. What should they do now? "Let's follow up and take a look. We didn't say we were experts. They misunderstood someone, so we can't be blamed." Tang Ya thought for a while. "That's the only way." Zhang Yingshe nodded. This laboratory is very large. But there are so many things, so messy. Even in their so-called conference room, a table was randomly set up in the corner. There are some materials and materials piled up in a mess on it, which is not much better than a garbage dump. Sit down, sit down." The young man greeted Zhang Yan and the three to sit down, and then took out a laptop from nowhere. "Today is our 34th meeting, and I will give you a summary of the meeting. Our plan this time is to study the substitutes for prismarine in the Fuzhang country. Prismarine is an essential material for advanced alloys, so we have to spend a lot of money every year to purchase the prismarine we need from the Fuzhang country. But the Fuzhang kingdom has raised our prices every year, and this year it has increased the price by 20%, which is really deceiving." The more the young man talked, the more excited he became, but Yu Zhang suddenly stopped him. "Rongzhou, everyone knows this, you don't need to repeat it, let's get to the point. Didn't I see that there are 3 newcomers here, and I want them to know what happened?" Rongzhou laughed twice, then looked at the computer screen and said, "Let's talk about our current progress. So far, 112 kinds of materials have been tried. No, plus today's experiment, there are a total of 113 kinds, none of which can perfectly replace the role of prismarine. The conclusion is over." Zhang Yan, Zhang Yingshe, Tang Ya. This is a lonely study. What kind of meeting is there? Wouldn't it be more open and more autistic? Now, do you have any good suggestions? Hurry up and say. The attributes should be close to prismarine, and the price should not be too expensive. Rongzhou looked at the crowd and said, "I've tried everything I can, but I can't think of anything. Should we look at fire-attributed materials? Extremes are counterproductive. Let's fight poison with fire. Then according to me, why not try the monster material? Monster materials have never been able to participate in alloy production. This is basic common sense. I think you are going back as you live. What about plants? Animals can't, let's use plants. Following the discussion, everyone soon began to let themselves go. All kinds of outlandish ideas came out. It can be seen that their search for alternatives has not been smooth. Zhang Yan thinks that these people's research is rather child's play. Materials with the same properties, tried one by one, can this also be called research? Do you have any spirit of scientific research and innovation? No one will use the method of elimination. 3 experts, do you have any good ideas? Rong Zhou turned his gaze to Zhang Yan and asked the 3 of them. Both Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya were as honest as quails. Obviously, this can only be answered by Zhang Yan. Under the gaze of more than a dozen eyes, Zhang Yan put down the phone, cleared his throat and said, do you know why, when refining medicine, as long as it is not the main material or auxiliary material, it is easy to find substitutes? That's because there are so many kinds of medicinal materials. Rong Zhou said without thinking. But I remember that there are more than one kind of medicinal herb for the substitutes of many pill materials, so why do we have to limit ourselves to a certain material? We can't find a substitute for prismarine, so we will try to use several more materials. Maybe we can refine an alloy that has properties close to prismarine in all aspects, and then add the new alloy to the original alloy formula, which will solve the problem perfectly. Zhang Yan spread his hands and said. Hearing this, many people present were as if enlightened. Rong Zhou slapped the table and stood up abruptly. Why didn't I think of it? Although this method is a waste of time, the direction is absolutely correct. It's better than them sitting here stupidly, trying all the materials they can try, and can't find a way. Other researchers also nodded. As expected of the person Master Ni found, his thinking is so clear. It is definitely a talent to be able to associate from refining medicine to refining equipment. It's still our thinking that has solidified. Since it is an alloy, we should try to use more materials instead of following the original formula and always looking for substitutes. That's right. Even if we change the formula beyond recognition, no one will ask us to lose money. Listening to the discussions around him, Zhang Yan breathed a sigh of relief. This should be regarded as muddling through. Zhang Yan, I didn't see it, you know a lot. Tang Ya looked at Zhang Yan with admiration and said. This is what I just searched on the web. Zhang Yan said in a low voice. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Tang Ya's eyes widened. Originally, she thought it was outrageous enough for her to be called an expert by a group of masters. Unexpectedly, there are even more outrageous things now. What Zhang Yan searched casually on the internet actually bluffed this group of masters. It's outrageous to open the door to outrageous. The reason why Zhang Yan thought of searching for relevant content on the internet was because many common elixirs in his impression had several or even dozens of versions of their formulas. He went to find out about it. Then I found that there are many auxiliary medicinal materials in it, and there are various substitutes. If one material cannot be perfectly replaced, then use 2, 3, or 5. The formula is also optimized layer by layer. In the end, the effect is better and the cost is more affordable. He applied the same principle to the refining tool. The emergence of alloy weapons is only a few decades old. In addition, the material is expensive and the test cost is high. So few people would optimize the alloy formula. But now since the Artisan Association wants to set this precedent, there is nothing wrong with the method of optimizing the refining formula, right? If you want to convince people, you must also pay attention to the method. In addition, he was introduced by Ni Lin, these people will easily listen to his words. Otherwise, if you change to someone else, this set of theories is brought out, but no one may buy it. After the meeting, Rongzhou arranged for someone to compare the materials. Yu Zhang took them to a room alone. As soon as he walked in, Zhang Yan saw a radiant long sword floating in a display case out of nowhere. Around the display cabinet, there is also a barrier visible to the naked eye. Wow, what kind of weapon is this? It's so beautiful. Tang Ya came to the display cabinet with bright eyes. It looks crystal clear, and it doesn't look like an alloy weapon. Zhang Yingshe also stepped forward and observed it for a while. That's right, this is not an alloy weapon. Even an SSS-level alloy weapon is not as powerful as 1/10 of it. Yu Zhong said mysteriously. So powerful. Tang Ya was shocked. You finally got rid of it, and continued, this is the legendary spirit weapon. It can recognize its owner with a drop of blood. The weapon and its owner are connected with each other. Not only will it be more handy to use, but its power will also be greatly improved. Spiritual weapon. Tang Ya's pupils shrank. Today's excitement is really wave after wave. She originally wanted to listen to Master Qin's lecture. As a result, I didn't hear Master Qin's lecture, but met many more famous masters. He also participated in a top-level meeting of the Artisan Association. Although the content of the meeting is a bit hip-stretching, it cannot be denied that the force is absolutely in place. Now she even saw the spirit weapon. This is a treatment that no amount of lectures can get in exchange for. Zhang Yingshe was even more confused. She doesn't have much idea about things like spirit weapons. I only know that this thing is very rare and precious. Even in the world of the heavens, only the rich can afford it. Things that were usually too far away appeared in front of her now. Apart from surprise and appreciation, she didn't have much other emotions. Zhang Yan was even more calm. The first time he entered the room, he recognized it as a spiritual weapon. Also recognized the advanced enchantment around the display case. The artifact was fine, he admitted. But it is absolutely impossible to belong to him. Unless the spirit weapon is given to him. Then he will definitely be happy for 3 days and 3 nights. This weapon is actually a reward. Yu Zhong said suddenly. Huh, Zhang Yan was slightly taken aback, what reward? If it's a reward, doesn't that mean he has a chance? Seeing Zhang Yan take the bait, Yu Zhong finally showed a smile on his face. This is a reward issued by the headquarters of the Heavens World. The requirement is, to refine a weapon of the perfect level. Yu Zhong looked at Zhang Yan and said. Perfect level weapon. Zhang Yan heard this for the first time. It is a weapon that has been perfected in all details from the first refining process. Yu Zhong sighed helplessly. It's a pity that no one in the Weapon Refining Association has been able to do it for so many years. This spiritual weapon, it can only be placed here as a decoration. Zhang Yan. He just talked about the location of the display cabinet, how strange it was. After working on it for a long time, it turned out that the spirit weapon was used as an ornament. It seems that many people think the same as him. As long as it is something that he is sure he cannot have, even if it is thrown on the street as garbage, it has nothing to do with him. However, the perfect level weapon Yu Zhong mentioned sounds quite difficult. He even suspected that everyone who entered the Artifact Refiners Association would be brought to pay their respects to this spiritual weapon. For some fledgling young people, it can definitely bring great learning motivation. At this moment, Yu Zhong changed the subject. I heard from Master Ni that you have a perfect weapon in your hand. If you can prove that the weapon was refined by you, you can take this reward now. After finishing speaking, Yu Zhong looked at Zhang Yan eagerly. He had already learned about the existence of the perfect weapon in Zhang Yan's hand from Ni Lin. He wouldn't be reconciled if he didn't meet him today. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Zhang Yan almost thought he heard it wrong. He had a perfect level weapon in his hand, why didn't he know it? And many more. What Ni Lin was talking about could not be his F-grade alloy fruit knife. When I saw Ni Lin's reaction, I was a little too excited. Still clamoring for a teacher. Is it because the fruit knife is a perfect weapon? Such a weapon can be easily synthesized by a universal synthesis platform. Can he make it himself? Isn't this embarrassing him? How about it? Do you want to challenge it? Yu Zhong said with a smile. Master Yu, you think too highly of me. How can I have this ability? Zhang Yan could not reveal the existence of the universal synthesis platform, so he had to choose to give up this opportunity. Besides, if such a weapon were to fall into his hands, it would definitely cause a stir for everyone to know. Just don't make trouble for yourself. Honestly improve your strength. As long as his upper limit of spiritual power is sufficient, it will be a matter of time before he synthesizes a spiritual weapon. Hey, that would be a pity. Yu Zhong sighed. Even though he was mentally prepared, he couldn't help feeling a little regretful. I heard that the Refiners Association of the Lighthouse Country already has a refiner who can refine weapons of the perfect level. At the next refiner exchange meeting, Just thinking about it, I know how arrogant those guys will be. Can I have a look at the weapon in your hand? Yu Zhong put away the emotions in his heart and looked at Zhang Yan again. Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya were also aroused with curiosity. Could it be that Zhang Yan really has a perfect weapon? I can show you, but you have to let the two of them join the artisan association. Zhang Yan pointed to Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya beside him. No problem. Yu Zhong agreed, just let them be under my sect, and they can come to the internal classes of the Artifact Refiner Association at any time. They can enjoy the treatment enjoyed by full-fledged members. Seeing that Yu Zhong was so straightforward, Zhang Yan handed over the fruit knife in his trouser pocket. This should be the perfect weapon that Master Ni said, I can't be serious. Looking at the fruit knife in Zhang Yan's hand, Yu Zhong said hesitantly, this weapon looks quite special. Before Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya recovered from the sudden joy, they saw Zhang Yan take out a fruit knife from his trouser pocket. That's right, fruit knives. Tang Ya couldn't help wondering again whether she was crazy, Zhang Yan was crazy, or Yu Zhong was crazy. If this is a perfect level weapon, can she write the name upside down? Zhang Yingshe was already numb. She always thought that Zhang Yan must have brought a small relic to one pot. But in the ruins, how come there are modern fruit knives? And the more she looked at it, the more she felt that this fruit knife was very similar to the one in the $2 store downstairs. Wrong. This is not like, this is clearly right. Zhang Yingshe swallowed nervously. She always feels. In the next second, they will be kicked out of the Artifact Refiners Association by Yu Zhong. Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya were full of messy thoughts. Yu Zhong did not underestimate the fruit knife just because of its appearance. After all, this is the person and weapon that Ni Lin likes. Even if it grows into a lump, don't be surprised. Yu Zhong took the fruit knife from Zhang Yan's hand carefully. Almost instantly, he noticed the difference in this weapon. In terms of appearance, this weapon imitates a fruit knife, and the imitation is lifelike. Even the plastic texture of the knife handle is no different from the fruit knife sold outside. But as long as you touch it, you can tell the difference immediately. I really can't find a single fault. Yu Zhong turned the fruit knife over and over again, and the emotion on his face became more and more agitated. He looked up at Zhang Yan and said, if I'm not wrong, this weapon has a whole body. Are they all made of some new type of alloy? Among all the known F-grade alloys, there is no alloy at all that can achieve such a cheap-looking and flawless texture. This is the differentiation that Ni Lin has always emphasized. While keeping a low profile, its power remains undiminished. Such a weapon is often very suitable for yin. No, it is rich in content. Or rather unexpectedly. The most important thing is that he has seen a real perfect level weapon today. If this kind of craftsmanship is used to refine advanced alloy weapons, that would be even more perfect. I don't know if it's a new alloy, but it must be an F-grade alloy. Zhang Yan replied. The one who forged this weapon is. Yu Zhong obviously wanted to ask the same question as Ni Lin. I made this weapon at a blacksmith shop at random. There was an earthquake in Spring City some time ago, and the blacksmith shop can no longer be found. I don't know the owner of the blacksmith shop, and I don't have the contact information of the boss. The boss doesn't accept apprentices. Zhang Yan immediately take the call. All the questions Yu Zhong wanted to ask were answered by Zhang Yan. After a while, he uttered 3 words, that's it. Yeah, Zhang Yan nodded. Little friend, can I discuss something with you? Yu Zhong looked at the fruit knife in his hand. I want to take this perfect work to participate in the craftsman exchange meeting. Would you like it? Although the person who made the weapon was nowhere to be found, it came from their dragon kingdom. Representing Longguo in the refiner exchange meeting, there is nothing wrong with it. Recently, the beacon country has been too arrogant. With such a perfect weapon supporting the scene, it can also kill the spirit of the lighthouse kingdom. Participate in the refiner exchange meeting. Zhang Yan hesitated. This is not good. No matter how awesome this fruit knife is, it's just a fruit knife. Take it to participate in this kind of international exhibition. He felt embarrassed just thinking about it. Young man, you don't understand. Yu Zhong showed a smile on his face. I have seen the so-called perfect level weapon in the Lighthouse Kingdom, and it is definitely not as good as yours. They're all of perfect quality, how can they be good or bad? Zhang Yan couldn't understand at all. What they refine is only black iron weapons. Yu Zhang glanced at Zhang Yan. The more precious the material, the more difficult it is to refine. Although they are all perfect level weapons, black iron weapons are obviously not as good as F-level alloy. Who will care if it's a fruit knife then? But I don't think it's good. Zhang Yan was troubled. If you can get the ranking, there will be a very rich reward. After finishing speaking, Yu Zhang added, the organizer is very rich. I will participate. Hearing the last sentence, Zhang Yan immediately changed his mind. Don't make money, you. Haha, that's right. Yu Zhang patted Zhang Yan's shoulder. This year's Artifact Refiner Exchange meeting is scheduled to be held in the Imperial Capital in 3 months' time, and I'll have someone contact you when the time comes. No problem. Zhang Yan smiled. At this moment, Zhang Yingshe finally came to her senses, pulled Zhang Yan and asked in a low voice, Xiaoyan, is this really a perfect weapon? But what did she think? These are all fruit knives sold in the $2 store downstairs. Yu Zhang still wants to take it to the Artifact Refiner Exchange meeting. There will be no problems then. I don't know, anyway, they say yes. Zhang Yan couldn't explain, so he had to push the problem to Yu Zhang and Ni Lin. The vision of the masters is really unique. Zhang Yingshe commented sincerely. It's getting late now. Let me take you to the place where the Artifact Master Association trains newcomers, and you can just come here when you have time, Yu Zhang said. Okay. Tang Ya was full of excitement. I have long heard that there is a special method for training newcomers within the Artifact Masters Association, and I can finally see it today. Not only can she see it, but she can also come to class in the future. It's not so smooth even in a dream. Zhang Yingshe was also full of expectations. Because of Tang Ya's influence, she was also very interested in refining equipment. I didn't expect to be able to enter the Artifact Refiners Association to study when I just came into contact with this industry. This is an opportunity that many people can't ask for. Yu Zhang took them to the 7th floor of the Artisan Association, and introduced them to the venues for theoretical knowledge learning, physical training, technique training, and practical training. All the courses here are free. You can choose courses according to what you want to learn, but my suggestion is to study smoothly from left to right. Only when you have a good foundation and practice, will you be more comfortable. Quote. As Yu Zhang spoke, he walked towards the field for practical training. As a result, as soon as they arrived at the door, they met Master Qin and Shu Liang. Teacher, Qin Cheng called out hastily. Master Yu, Shu Liang also shouted respectfully. The lecture is over. Yu Zhang glanced at Master Qin. Yes, it's just over. Qin Cheng replied. Yeah, Yu Ding nodded. I'll take your 2 junior sisters to familiarize yourself with the training ground. Junior sister. Qin Cheng looked behind Yu Zhang, his expression froze. Yu Zhang is in the Artifact Refiners Association, and he is considered a relatively old master of Artifact Refiner. Although not comparable to the status of the 8 chiefs, there are many disciples in the Artifact Refiner Association. Qin Cheng is also one of them. But Yu Zhang stopped accepting disciples 10 years ago. But what Qin Cheng didn't expect was that today Yu Zhang not only took in 2 female apprentices for the first time. Those who accepted were those who wanted to listen to his lecture a few hours ago, but couldn't even get in the door. The last time I met, these people were all his students. When we met again, we became peers. If this is said, where will he put his face? Compared with Qin Cheng, Shu Liang's mood is more complicated. Because Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya are a generation taller than him. People who he didn't pay attention to at all before. Now he is his elder. This must be a nightmare. Still a nightmare from which I will never wake up. Hello senior brother, hello senior nephew. Tang Ya shouted with a smile as she watched the excitement. When Shu Liang heard the word nephew, his whole face collapsed. It's over. His days to come will be gloomy, and he will never see the light again. Qin Cheng said with a half smile, the 2 junior sisters have to work hard. Our Artifact Master Association has a lot of competition. If we can't keep up with everyone's footsteps, we will be eliminated sooner or later. You are a senior brother, why are you not friendly at all? You are the one who scares the little junior sister like this. Yu Zhang said with a displeased face. Qin Cheng. That's not what Yu Zhang told him when he first joined the Artisan Association. The usual training, that is called harsh, that is called strict. He also experienced it personally today. What is differential treatment? Master Qin is right. It is our honor to be admitted to the Artifact Refiners Association. We should work hard. Zhang Yingshe is very clear that the face is earned by herself, not given by others. Now Yu Zhang just wants to let Zhang Yan use that perfect weapon to attend the craftsman exchange meeting. That's why we protect them in every possible way. But if they don't live up to their expectations, others will gossip secretly even if they don't say anything on the surface. That's right, you should work hard, and I need Master Qin to take care of you in the future. Tang Ya was also a bit poor-mouthed just now, and she was still very clear about how much she had. Hearing this, Qin Chengda's face became better. Yu Zhang also nodded in satisfaction. He kept these two little girls for Zhang Yan's sake. But whether they can gain a foothold in the Artifact Refiners Association or not depends on themselves. Let's go, I'll show you the practice field. After speaking, Yu Zhang turned around and entered the gate next to him. Zhang Yan and others followed in. I saw a huge room with hundreds of people gathered here. All kinds of refining furnaces can be seen everywhere. There are also various metals piled up in the corner of the room like a hill. There are even dark iron and black iron. Participating in practical training at the Refiners Association, materials below F-grade alloys are free to use. Of course, you cannot take away the refined products. Besides that, you also need a refining furnace. Yu Zhang walked to the deepest part of the room and opened another door with a magnetic card. When you walk in, you will see rows of shelves. These are all furnaces collected within the association. As students of my Yu Zhang, you are qualified to choose one of your own furnaces here. Yu Zhang said quite proudly. Oh my god, there are so many. Tang Ya's eyes widened. Can I just pick any one? Zhang Yingshe looked at Yu Zhang and asked. Zhang Yan was also very curious. He remembered the refining furnace, the cost is very expensive. As long as they are Yu Zhang students, they can come in and pick them at will. Then he pretended to accept 1,800 apprentices, wouldn't he be able to empty this warehouse? Choose whatever you want. Yu Zhang waved his hand, you can settle the bill later in cash, Lingxi and Lingju, or use your usual wages to deduct, 500 for steel weapons, 1,000 for fine steel weapons, and 1,000 for refined iron weapons 3,000, black iron weapons will deduct 8,000, and black iron weapons will deduct 30,000, and when you can refine black iron weapons, you will be able to pay off all the debts soon. Zhang Yan, Zhang Yingshe, Tang Ya. The three of Zhang Yan were silent. It is they who are too naive. I thought that the welfare of the Artisan Association is so good, and I can give away millions of things. It took a long time to spend money to buy it. But in fact, if you think about it carefully, it is not a disadvantage to use wages to deduct. Anyway, if you usually have to practice, it should be considered as a way to pay off the debt. Yingshe, I took a look. The refining furnaces here are very good. There is no such good quality in the market. We will choose the expensive ones later. Anyway, there is no repayment period, so we will take it slowly. Pay back the part-time job. Tang Ya leaned close to Zhang Yingshui's ear and whispered. Well, it makes sense. Zhang Yingshe nodded. Zhang Yan did not intervene. In terms of work and study, he was not good at giving Zhang Yingshe any advice. The big deal is that he doesn't want to stay in the Artifact Refiners Association in the future, so he just helps Zhang Yingshe pay off the debt. It's not a lot of money. In the end, Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya each chose a small refining furnace with a height of half a meter, both of which were suitable for girls. By the time all the formalities were completed, it was already very late. After leaving the Artisan Association, Zhang Yan separated from Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya, and returned to the hotel alone. Just settle for dinner. Zhang Yan took out his mobile phone and ordered a batch of things on the official website of Lingwutang. 20 snow worms, 50 bottles of Huang Yu Dan, 50 bottles of Qing Yu Dan, and 10 bottles of Qi Shui Dan. In addition, he also ordered 5 bottles of Yunling pill. This kind of elixir can speed up the absorption of spiritual energy, and can be superimposed on the basis of exercises. The price is more expensive. A first-grade Yunling pill is also worth 20,000 pieces. But the money that should be spent still needs to be spent. After becoming a Tier 1 martial artist, it is difficult to improve simply by improving one's strength. Using spiritual power to nourish and temper the body is the correct way of cultivation. These things cost Zhang Yan 5 million in total. Zhang Yan is not in a hurry to synthesize all of them. His spiritual power can be fully recovered every 2 days. That is, every 2 days, he can synthesize something for free. So Huang Yu Dan, Qing Yu Dan, Qi Shui Dan, he is going to keep them and slowly synthesize them. Today, I only upgraded the magic weapon of space, and then synthesized it with Yunling Pill. It should be almost there. After the items were delivered, Zhang Yan was going to try the synthesis effect of Yunling Pill first. He poured out a Yunling Pill and put it into the synthesis table, and checked its properties. Yunling Pill. It can increase the speed of spiritual power absorption within 10 minutes, the upper limit is determined by the cultivation talent, up to 10 times. Zhang Yan raised his eyebrows. 10 times. As expected of a pill worth 20,000 yuan, the effect can directly catch up with the 5th or 6th level of cultivation skills. And no side effects were shown. It can be used in large quantities. It's just that the duration of the drug's effect is too short, and it's a bit of a waste of money. However, if there are restrictions on cultivation talent, he should only be able to increase the speed by 5 or 6 times at most. It depends on how the synthesis works. Zhang Yan added another Yunling Pill to the universal synthesis table. Is it possible to synthesize a first-grade Yunling Pill? Synthesis. The first-grade Yunling Pill has been synthesized. Congratulations on getting the second-grade Yunling Pill. Second-grade Yunling Pill. It can increase the speed of spiritual power absorption by 10 times within 1 hour, and is not limited by cultivation talent, preciousness, 6 stars. Please note that since the 6-star item was synthesized for the first time, the universal synthesis table has reached the upgrade requirements. Do you want to upgrade? To be honest, Zhang Yan was quite surprised that the preciousness of the second-grade Yunling Pill could reach 6 stars. But the system's next prompt made his pupils vibrate even more. Upgrade. The universal synthesis table can be upgraded. In Zhang Yan's view, the universal synthesis table is already invincible. Except for the requirement of the upper limit of spiritual power, other aspects are basically impeccable. But now you can continue to upgrade. Is this going to have no restrictions and go directly to heaven? However, you have to see it with your own eyes to know the specific situation. Confirm the upgrade. As Zhang Yan's voice fell, the original universal synthesis platform was instantly shattered, and streamers of light appeared in front of Zhang Yan's eyes. After a while, a brand new synthesis table was formed. Universal synthesizer has been upgraded, and a decomposition function has been added. Please use it with caution. I saw a new function bar in the corner of the original synthesis table. It is distinguished from the 2 synthesis bars in the middle. Disassemble. Zhang Yan touched his chin. This function is quite worthy of research. Decomposition is the exact opposite of synthesis. However, it is still not very clear what kind of decomposition method it is. Try it, and then you'll know. Zhang Yan directly put the newly synthesized second-grade Yunling Pill into the decomposition column. Do you want to decompose the second-grade Yunling Pill? Breakdown. The second-rank Yunling Pill has been disassembled. Congratulations on getting the second-rank Juling Grass, the second-rank Silver Velvet, the second-rank Heather Leaf, the second-rank Snow Ginseng, and the second-rank Five-Eyed Fruit. It's nothing special. Zhang Yan was disappointed. There does not seem to be any difference between the medicinal materials decomposed from the advanced version of the second-grade Yunling Pill and the refined medicinal materials of the ordinary second-grade Yunling Pill. That is, the advanced version of the second-grade Yunling Pill can have better effects, which is entirely due to the synthesis platform, and has nothing to do with the refining materials. Originally, he wanted to try to see if he could break down from the second grade to the first grade. The result is that he thinks too much. Moreover, decomposing things also requires spiritual power. But wouldn't it be good to have spiritual power for synthesis? Can it be decomposed into medicinal materials, and then turned back into elixir? Such a waste. And many more. A flash of inspiration suddenly appeared in Zhang Yan's mind. Since the universal synthesis platform can synthesize ordinary items, various materials, weapons, armors, medicines, skills, special skills, creatures and so on. That decomposition should also include these items. Decomposing organisms. This one has to be tried. Zhang Yan glanced at the time. It was almost 9 o'clock in the evening. There are still 10 minutes before Lingwu Hall closes. Taking advantage of this last bit of time, he ordered 2 blue-striped rabbits in Lingwu Hall. The blue-striped rabbit is a first-order monster. It is peculiar in that it only has a little mental attack. It can't cause harm to ordinary people, let alone spiritual masters and warriors. In addition, rabbits are very good at giving birth. So this kind of blue-striped rabbit was bred specially for experiments or food. The price is not expensive, you can buy one for a few thousand yuan. It should be the cheapest tier 1 monster. When the 2 blue-striped rabbits were delivered, they were alive and well. Each of them weighs more than 10 kilograms, and it can be seen that they are still very fleshy. But Zhang Yan is not interested in rabbit meat tonight. He stuffed 2 blue-striped rabbits into the synthesis table. Is it possible to synthesize a first-order blue-striped rabbit? Synthesis. The first-order blue-striped rabbit has been synthesized. Congratulations on obtaining the second-order phantom rabbit. Tier 2 phantom rabbit. With the blood of the devil rabbit, it is extremely fast and will cause the illusion of sight to the enemy. It is extremely difficult to capture and attack. Seeing the synthesis result, Zhang Yan was slightly taken aback. He synthesized the blue-striped rabbit, just to make the blue-striped rabbit stronger. This is convenient for him to wait for the test. Unexpectedly, the first-order blue-striped rabbit actually synthesized the second-order phantom rabbit. The phantom rabbit's bloodline is obviously higher than that of the blue-striped rabbit. Not to mention the devil rabbit. He is already a spirit beast, and ordinary monsters are no match at all. Is it possible that the bloodline level will increase when the 2 monsters are combined? This is a pleasant surprise. For biological synthesis, Zhang Yan has not had the opportunity to do too many tests. I thought it would be similar to the vampire vine. Now it seems that even the blood can be added directly. Doesn't this mean that as long as there are enough synthesis times, it is not a problem to synthesize a beast? Forget it, I'll talk about this later. Let's take a look at the decomposition function first. Zhang Yan closed the doors and windows of the hotel, and then released the second-order phantom rabbit from the synthesis table. As soon as it landed, the phantom rabbit turned into an afterimage and ran towards the corner of the wall like a wild horse running wild. Zhang Yan didn't even see its trajectory clearly. But he was in no hurry. Anyway, this rabbit will definitely not be able to escape today. After Zhang Yan took out the vampire vine, he walked towards the corner step by step. Although the phantom rabbit's intelligence is not activated, it can still detect the level of the enemy's strength. Finding that Zhang Yan's strength is not as good as his own, Phantom Rabbit suddenly took the initiative to attack. Zhang Yan turned on the universal synthesis platform at the right time, and when the Phantom Rabbit got close to a certain level, he immediately used the synthesis platform to put the Phantom Rabbit into the decomposition column. And the blood-sucking vine, which was ready to attack at any time, naturally rushed to nothing. Successful. Looking at the Phantom Rabbit being put into the decomposition bin, Zhang Yan showed a smile on his face. At the same time, the system pops up a prompt. Do you want to decompose the second-order Phantom Rabbit? Breakdown. The second-order Phantom Rabbit has been disassembled. Congratulations on getting 6 caddies of Phantom Rabbit meat, 1 Phantom Rabbit skin, 1 Phantom Rabbit animal bone, 1 milliliter of Phantom Rabbit blood essence, and 1 second-order demon crystal. It really can be broken down. Zhang Yan burst into ecstasy in his eyes. He just tested a total of 2 contents. One is to test whether the monsters in the attacking state can be put into the decomposition column. The second is to test whether the decomposition column can decompose living things. As it turns out, both work. This is much better than the crafting bar. Although the synthesis bar can also collect living things, it does not have the lethality of the decomposition bar. When he synthesized the sea monster of doom, he was completely lucky. In case the doom siren was put into the synthesis bar alone, and he couldn't find a proper way to deal with it, the synthesis table would be scrapped for a long time. With the decomposition column, you don't have to worry about this problem at all. The appearance of the decomposition bar has completely changed the nature of the synthesis table. For Zhang Yan, it is not just a tool anymore. At the critical moment, it can even become a weapon. His current upper limit of spiritual power can synthesize items of about 4th order. Naturally, it can also decompose creatures of around 4th order. When encountering more powerful creatures, they can also be temporarily stored in the decomposition column. Does not affect the use of the crafting bar. At first, Zhang Yan felt that the decomposition column was rather useless. After all, like pills and weapons, he is more interested in finished products. Original materials are required unless exceptional circumstances arise. That breakdown bar will come in handy. But now, Zhang Yan is eager to give him a few more decomposition columns. In case those bosses in Forbidden Sea find him, he will assign one to each of these guys. Simply perfect. But this is his life-saving hole card, and when there are others around, he must not be easily exposed. Usually, there is a picture of Blood Sea Purgatory to assist, and the Vampire Vine Master will attack. Enemies around the 5th level can be dealt with completely. No matter how bad it is, you can also sacrifice the Sea Monster of Doom. Not to mention the world of the heavens, it is definitely no problem to protect yourself on the earth. Continue to synthesize Yunling Pill. Zhang Yan put the decomposed rabbit meat and materials into the inventory, and then synthesized all the 5 bottles of Yunling Pill in his hand into the 2nd grade, and then synthesized the 3rd grade. This process alone cost him nearly 5 low-grade spirit stones. 3rd grade Yunling Pill. It can increase the speed of spiritual power absorption by 10 times within 2 hours, and is not limited by cultivation talent, precious level, 6 stars. Zhang Yan looked at the 12 3rd grade Yunling Pills in his hand. Next, he is going to synthesize the 4th grade elixir. This is also the first time he synthesized level 4. Not sure what will change. Add 2 3rd grade Yunling Pills to the synthesis table. Is it possible to synthesize a 3rd grade Yunling Pill? Synthesis. The 3rd grade Yunling Pill has been synthesized. Congratulations on getting the 4th grade Yunling Pill. 4th grade Yunling Pill. It can increase the absorption speed of spiritual power by 20 times within 10 minutes, and enter a state of epiphany, without being restricted by cultivation talent, preciousness, 7 stars. The time has shortened so much. Zhang Yan was taken aback for a moment, but soon discovered the problem. This elixir, after taking it, can actually enter the state of epiphany. 20 times the speed of absorbing spiritual power, plus entering the state of epiphany. The income brought by it has increased by more than 100 times. The most important thing is that after entering the no state, you can ignore all cultivation bottlenecks. Of course, the 4th rank Yunling Pill can only correspond to 4th rank warriors or spiritual masters. Beyond this level, the efficacy of the medicine will be greatly reduced. But even so, the effect is still amazing. It is equivalent to his 10 minutes of practice every day, which is equivalent to 3 or 4 hours of others' practice, and there is no bottleneck in practice. When used in conjunction with Lonely Star Jew, the effect is doubled. And what's the point? The point is that Yunling Pill has no usage restrictions. As long as he is rich enough, he can buy enough pills to synthesize. It is also a matter of minutes to rush to the 3rd rank warrior. Thinking of this, Zhang Yan took out his mobile phone and found Xu Qing's contact information. Talk about a business, are you interested? At this point, Xu Qing had just downloaded it not long ago. She came out of the bathroom after taking a shower, picked up her phone while wiping her hair. This brat, will you take the initiative to send me a message? Xu Qing came to the bed and sat down, and then replied slowly, in our business, there is no one who does not accept business orders, but we have to see what the business is first. For advertising, I have to look at the brand, and for carrying goods, I have to see the effect first before deciding whether to accept it or not. Zhang Yan, where are you? I'll send you the sample. Xu Qing, it's not that I need to go out due to special circumstances. I'm usually in the imperial capital. I'll give you the address later. Zhang Yan, okay. Looking at the last word sent by Zhang Yan, Xu Qing was full of depression. This is gone. Shouldn't you communicate with her about cooperation details, introduce products, or chat with her? As a result, she waited for a long time, but Zhang Yan still had no further text. Xu Qing had no choice but to take the initiative to send a message and asked, you have to tell me, what do you want to sell? I don't accept everything here. If the sample is sent, I can't accept it. It's not a waste of both parties' time. 2 minutes later, Xu Qing received a call back from Zhang Yan. What I want to sell is a 2nd grade elixir, which mainly improves physical fitness and strength. I will prepare a few more for you at that time. You can find someone to demonstrate the effect, and then just wait for the order. Zhang Yan has always been confident in the pills processed by the synthesis platform. All he lacks is a channel for publicity. Although his selling price is high, Shuqing's live broadcast room has millions of viewers every day. There are still many rich people in it. Shuqing, so confident. Zhang Yan, well, that's how confident I am. For the next period of time, Zhang Yan basically didn't go out much. After sending the 5 grade sapphire pills to Shuqing, he locked himself in the hotel room every day to familiarize himself with the new cultivation method, Lonely Star Ju. As for the 4th grade Yunling pill, he has not taken it yet. Yunling pill needs the help of exercises to complete the absorption of spiritual power. Before thoroughly familiarizing with the Lonely Star art, it is easy to waste the efficacy of the medicine. A 4th grade Yunling pill costs 160,000 yuan. He has lost too much, and he is still very heartbroken. On this day, Zhang Yan just received a text message delivered by courier in the morning, and Shuqing replied to him in the afternoon, "Send me the specific information of the elixir, and I will help you promote it tonight." Zhang Yan thought for a while and replied, "There is no information, you can figure it out yourself." Seeing this news, Shuqing immediately made a video call to him. Zhang Yan pressed the answer button. I saw Shuqing staying in a training room, wearing a close-fitting vest and shorts, with a thin layer of sweat on her forehead, obviously just finished trying the 2nd grade Qingyu Dan. After a long time, you are 3-0. Shuqing panted slightly with her hands on her hips. The elixir is fine, just let it go. Zhang Yan said calmly. If this elixir of yours comes from a certain master, it can sell at least hundreds of thousands more. Shuqing opened a bottle of mineral water, took a sip, and continued, why don't you go to the Alchemist Association to find a master to name you? Then release a complete set of detailed information, verify it, and sell it for 700,000 to 800,000 will not be a problem. I've checked everything. After this set of procedures, and after the name is added, people will have to commission, and I only get about 500,000. Zhang Yan has learned about these things in advance, and the most important thing is the trouble. After all the procedures are completed, it will not be settled within a few months. That's right, Shuqing nodded, however, your elixir is so effective. I just gained 200 kilograms in one-handed strength. If there is a certification, it will definitely sell a lot more. It's up to you to decide. Let's just sell it like this. The price of the 2nd grade pill is too high and it's not suitable. Zhang Yan suddenly remembered and asked, have you tried the pill with ordinary people? No, what's the matter? Shuqing was slightly taken aback. Remember what I said. During the live broadcast, it's best to find someone who has no cultivation to test the medicine. Whether it will be sold or not is not a question you need to consider. Zhang Yan said earnestly. Then I'll prepare for it first, and the live broadcast will be around 6 o'clock. Having said that, Shuqing added a few words, also, if I charge here, I will draw 10 points for the sale. This price is basically the same in the industry, and I didn't cheat you. No problem. Zhang Yan nodded, let's set the price of the elixir at 550,000. Originally, his price was 500,000. Since Shuqing wants a commission, then add the commission money to it. Anyway, he won't suffer. It's not linked to the master's name, so 550,000 is a bit high. Shuqing said slightly, but we can try it first, and if the price is not suitable, we can adjust it again. Don't worry, it's definitely suitable, Zhang Yan said. Shuqing didn't talk back to Zhang Yan either. She comes into contact with all kinds of goods every month, and she actually knows what price is easy to sell. The 2nd grade elixir has no certification, and taking one pill increases the strength of one hand by 200 kilograms. 300,000 to 400,000 is already skyrocketing. However, considering that her cultivation is close to that of a 2nd-order warrior, the effect of the pill must be discounted. That's why she said to try it first. After all, in terms of pricing, we still have to respect the meaning of the sponsor's father. By the way, remember to give me the name of the elixir. You don't need any other information. You must have the name of the elixir. Shuqing felt that the elixir sent by Zhang Yan actually resembled the taste of Qingyu Dan. But the effect was completely different, and she wasn't sure. Let's call it Dali Wan. Zhang Yan thought for a while. This name is simple, easy to understand and easy to remember. It also fully embodies the effect of the elixir. Although the soil is a bit soiled. But in the impetuous circle of live broadcasting, a name that everyone can remember is sometimes half the battle. This name, no matter how it sounds, it is worth 500 yuan. Shu Qing was speechless, but Zhang Yan is now her father, and she is sure that everything will be based on Zhang Yan's opinion. Then call it Dolly Pill. Wait, remember to watch my live broadcast. If there is any problem, we can adjust it at any time in the middle. Okay, Zhang Yan nodded. At 6 o'clock in the evening, Shu Qing's live broadcast started on time. In just half a minute, 200,000 to 300,000 viewers flooded into the live broadcast room. And all the way up. Shu Qing didn't even say a word, and the popularity of the live broadcast broke through 1 million. Good evening, everyone. I don't have anything new to show you today, so I'm going to introduce you to elixir that I've used and felt good. Shu Qing waved her hand at the camera. She was still in the training room just now, but she had obviously taken a shower and changed into a relatively conservative training outfit. When the audience in the live broadcast room heard the opening remarks, they immediately understood that Shu Qing was accepting another promotion today. Isn't the Rainbow Rabbit too busy lately? Didn't you accept the new product promotion of Yihang Group last week? It's another pill, can you change it to something new? Little Rainbow only bought the Qinglian Kung Fu last month, at least let Little Rainbow regain blood. What's wrong with the promotion? Which anchor doesn't accept the promotion? Don't worry, Little Rainbow's quality control is very strict. I have never had any problems with the things I bought from Little Rainbow, just like the effect shown in the live broadcast room. Shu Qing has long been accustomed to the audience's reaction. But compared to other studios, her place is much better. Because every time she does promotion, it is on the bright side. Engage in some bells and whistles, accept the promotion but refuse to admit it. This will only annoy the audience. It's best for everyone to be direct. Let's show everyone the appearance of the elixir first. Shu Qing said while putting on her gloves, the elixir I'm introducing to you today is very good looking. After finishing speaking, Shu Qing poured out a pill and held it in her hand. Then hold it up to the camera. Under natural light, the second-grade sapphire pill is like a blue jade, translucent with a touch of blue. Just looking at the appearance, the whole body exudes an expensive atmosphere. Wow, it's really beautiful. Not to mention Little Rainbow, I thought it was jadeite. This elixir can be worn as a piece of jewelry, right? The elixir recommended by Little Rainbow today doesn't look cheap, I guess it must be no less than 5 figures. Let's forget about 5 figures. Pills are not weapons. The price of consumables is too high. How many people can afford it? In the live broadcast room, there are still a lot of ordinary people. Many people would be willing to spend 5 figures on a weapon. But if the elixir sells for 5 figures, it will exceed most people's expectations. Many families cannot afford it. I just tried this elixir today, and my one-handed strength has increased by more than 200 kilograms. Shu Qing looked at the camera and said strangely, everyone knows, what is more than 200 kilograms to me, and this is only a second-grade elixir. The effect of my taking it has been greatly reduced, and I will find someone with a lower cultivation base to help everyone test the effect of the elixir. Hearing Shu Qing's words, the live broadcast room immediately exploded. More than 200 kilograms. I remember that Little Rainbow's one-handed strength is already over 40,000 kilograms. In a short time, he should be able to hit a second-order warrior. I can't imagine that the second-grade elixir can achieve such a good effect. It seems that the price was too low just now. This elixir must be able to reach 6 figures. 6-figure second-grade elixir. Are you crazy? Could it be a new elixir produced by some master? I haven't heard any news about it recently. 6 figures are too exaggerated. They are all sold in the live broadcast room. Can't the price be more affordable? I don't think the price is too expensive. It's hard to sell for 5 figures, let alone 6 figures. That's right, and the elixir produced by the master can be sold at a high price, and it has already been auctioned. Why do you want to promote it in the live broadcast room? Shu Qing didn't answer everyone's questions directly, but waved at the photographer next to her. I remember that your single-handed strength is less than 500 kilograms, right? Shu Qing handed the pill to the cameraman. It's cheap for you today, so you can try the medicine for everyone. Thank you, boss. The photographer happily took the pill. Don't rush to eat, show the audience your current one-handed strength. Shu Qing reminded. Okay. The cameraman adjusted the direction of the camera, and then walked to a strength tester not far away. He took a deep breath and slammed his fist on the target of the strength tester. The value pops up on the display screen instantly. 497. Not bad, your one-handed strength was only 492 in the last test, which is an increase of 5 kilograms. Shu Qing clapped her hands and said, "Boss, are you sure you're praising me?" The photography boy was crying. The audience in the live broadcast room were also happy. Little Rainbow is too damaged. Is it not bad to gain 5 kilograms? It's been several months since the last time the cameraman tested his one-handed strength in the live broadcast room, and the one-handed strength only increased by 5 kilograms, which is slower than my progress. Out of the society, it's not as good as being in school. How much time do you have to improve your cultivation? Just get by. The helplessness of people in society. Anyway, I know in my heart that there is no prospect of martial arts, so I might as well focus more on work and making money. However, the employees under Zhao Hong's hands are treated very well. Occasionally, if you are lucky, you can even get free pills. The value of today's pills is definitely not low. I am so excited to see that I want to work for Zhao Hong. Seeing everyone's reactions in the live broadcast room, Shu Qing was quite satisfied. The reason why she asked the photographer brother to test the drug was not to find another person with lower one-handed strength. It is because of the photographer's one-handed strength that the viewers who have watched her live broadcast all the year round more or less understand it. A few hundred kilograms is also the standard for most ordinary people. It is suitable for demonstration. Let's get started. Shu Qing looked back at the cameraman. Okay, boss. After speaking, the photographer brother threw the pill into his mouth. The elixir tasted very light, with a refreshing feeling. Before the cameraman got over it, the elixir had melted and flowed down his throat into his stomach. In the next second, he felt a warm current rising from his lower abdomen. Immediately, bead-sized beads of sweat emerged from his forehead, and all the muscles in his body trembled slightly. The photographer's face turned red, and he quickly meditated cross-legged. Looking at the photographer's reaction, the audience knew that the pill had worked. The effect is very fast. Just after taking it, it will work, which means the pill is of good quality. The effect is fast, but I feel that the effect of the drug should not be as good as the anchor said, right? That's right, when I took Shishui pill, I reacted much better than this photographer guy. He didn't seem to be moving at all, and the effect of the medicine is probably just mediocre. Is Shishui pill taken by ordinary people? Anyone with a little understanding knows that Shishui pill has extremely side effects, and there is no way to take it for a long time. The effect of the medicine is good, and the reaction is big. Although this is a common phenomenon, it is mostly caused by the side effects of the elixir. The photographer didn't have a big reaction, and it may be that the side effects are small. The audience in the live broadcast room, based on the reaction of the cameraman, derived a lot of ideas. Seeing the more discussions, the more excited. The photographer brother suddenly stood up from the ground. It seems to have been absorbed. The photographer himself was a little confused. He seemed to have meditated for less than 5 minutes, and now he has no feeling at all. Obviously the elixir just now has been completely absorbed. How do you feel? Shu Qing looked at the cameraman curiously. Feeling. The photography boy suddenly clenched his fist. His face could not hide his excitement. It feels good. The audience in the live broadcast room was also very curious. It's been absorbed so quickly. It seems that this elixir not only takes effect quickly, but also absorbs quickly. Guess how much the photographer's one-handed strength can increase. At most 300 or 400 kilograms. I think this elixir is unusual, and the photographer's cultivation level is not high. Maybe it can increase by 500 kilograms. 500 kilograms. That's an exaggeration. Brother, this is only a second-grade elixir. What are you thinking about with 500 kilograms? At least the 4th-grade qi and blood pill is needed to achieve the effect of about 500 kilograms. Qi Shui Dan is not a good thing. The side effects are so serious that you can only take it once every few months. I really don't know what to brag about. Shu Qing glanced at the live broadcast room, and said with a smile, how much our photographer's one-handed strength can increase. we still have to use the data displayed by the instrument to speak, and I will give the top 10 viewers who guessed right. Send 3,000 red envelopes. As soon as these words came out, the barrage in the live broadcast room suddenly went crazy. Shu Qing gave up the lens to the cameraman. Go. Shu Qing raised her chin and said. The cameraman nervously walked towards the strength tester. He also didn't know how much his one-handed strength had increased. But roughly estimated, it should not be less than 500 kilograms. He made a lot of money today. In the past, it was not his turn to try out products of this level. I heard that today is a special request from the sponsor's father above, and it is best to use ordinary people with low one-handed strength to test the medicine. Such a good thing fell on his head. You must know that his monthly salary is only more than 10,000 yuan. The value of this pill. Most of them can cover his salary for a year. With a complicated and excited mood, the photographer stopped in front of the strength tester. While adjusting his breathing, he concentrated his spiritual power into his right fist. Reaching the critical point, he suddenly punched out. Just heard a loud bang. The target shakes violently. At the same time, the data on the strength tester is also displayed. 1523. All go. Seeing this number, Shu Qing's eyes widened in disbelief. The audience in the live broadcast room was even more stunned. Wait, did I read an extra digit, or what? 1523 kilograms. A second-grade elixir. Let the photography brother gain strength with one hand, and in just a few minutes, he gained 1,000 kilograms. Are you sure you are not kidding me? You guys are dumbfounded if you didn't look at Little Rainbow. She probably didn't expect the effect of the pill to be so good. But when Little Rainbow tried the medicine by herself, didn't her one-handed strength only increase by 200 kilograms? Isn't it fake? I've never heard of any second-grade elixir that can have such an effect, and a third-grade elixir is almost the same. At this time, Shu Qing finally recovered. She looked into the live broadcast room and said, Everyone, I want to declare first that when I took this elixir myself, my one-handed strength did only increase by about 200 kilograms. I really didn't know it could be so effective. Shu Qing finally understood why Zhang Yan repeatedly emphasized that he wanted someone with little cultivation to test the medicine. This effect is too good. So good that even if she had to spend 500,000 yuan to buy a second-grade elixir, she would think it was so worth it. It's not a person if you don't buy it. Shu Qing thought for a while and continued, according to the results of the two tests, we can draw a conclusion. This elixir is aimed at those with low cultivation, and the effect is completely super doubled, but it is not so ideal for a warrior like me whose cultivation is close to the second level. But even so, everyone must understand. This is just a second-grade elixir, everyone. My cultivation base is here. The second-grade elixir is of little significance to me, but it can still increase the strength of one hand by 200 kilograms. This is why I strongly recommend it to everyone. Now it seems that the most suitable crowd for this kind of elixir is not people like me who have 40,000 to 50,000 single-handed strength, but people who have not yet become warriors or who have just become warriors. The more Shu Qing talked, the more excited she became. Such a good thing, Zhang Yan didn't look for her earlier. Absolutely profitable business. What kind of experts are still linked, and what certificates are recognized? Just put it in her live broadcast room for sale. Can't sell, she has the surname Zhang Yan. And when the live broadcast is over, she must ask Zhang Yan alone. Is there any third grade of such elixir? She doesn't have much demand for second-grade pills. But the third-grade elixir is very suitable for her. At that time, she may have hope to break through to the second-tier warrior. The audience in the live broadcast room can't wait. Little Rainbow, don't just talk about it, quickly introduce the name and price of the elixir. I'm ready to sell everything, so I'm going to buy one anyway. With such a good effect, the 6 figures must be stable, and I suspect that the first and second beginnings will not be able to win. What are you thinking about? Although this is only a second-grade elixir, the audience is limited, but with such a good effect, you want to buy it for 100 or 200,000. I can buy as much as I have. That's right, if you can catch a leak, it's not a loss if you resell it. I doubt the authenticity of the elixir. I just checked on the internet, and there is no similar second-grade elixir. If the anchor sells fake products, he will go to jail. Where did you get cerebral palsy? Little Rainbow never made any mistakes in the things he sells, and the photographer brother also gave us live demonstrations. He can't see even if he has eyes. Anyway, I don't believe that the second-grade elixir can have such an effect. If you want to pick up a cheap one, just wait to regret it. At any time, there are sunspots in the live broadcast room. Shu Qing didn't care at all. Seeing that the audience was eager to know the price of the pill, she said to the camera, "This pill is called Dolly Wan, and it is a second-grade pill. As I said just now, it has no side effects. Tier 2 warriors have the best effect, and Tier 2 warriors are also effective, but the price-performance ratio is not so high." As for the selling price, the patron's father set a price of 550,000 yuan, and there are not many in stock, only 20 pieces. Interested friends, you can ask us for management consultation. As soon as this remark came out, the live broadcast room exploded again. 500,000, are you serious, Anchor? Isn't it good for me to go to the auction for this price of elixir? The live broadcast room dares to sell such an expensive thing, let alone 500,000, how many people present can come up with 50,000? Hey, Little Rainbow, you have changed, have you considered the feelings of us poor people? Since when, I can only look up to the second-grade elixir, and say that I can squeeze my living expenses to see if I can buy one. Now it seems that I have no chance. When you come to sell goods in the live broadcast room, the price must be close to the people. What the hell is 500,000? I can assure you that none of these 20 pills can be sold. I have 500,000 yuan, so I will definitely buy a third-grade elixir, and even a fourth-grade qi and blood elixir. Why should I buy an elixir that I have never heard of? The name is definitely not a joke. Why does it sound like someone selling fake goods on a street stall? In a bunch of barrage comments complaining about the price, someone finally noticed the name. Shu Qing secretly liked this barrage. She thought so too. But compared with the effect of pills, the name or something is trivial. A pill that can be recognized by the public is a good pill. The excellent essence of the pill will never be changed just because of the name. As for Dolly Wan not being sold, she never considered the situation. It can only be said that in this world, the poor must outnumber the rich. So there are many voices against it. But that doesn't mean rich people don't exist anymore. According to the record sent to her by the administrator, hundreds of people have already asked about the situation of the pill in just 1 or 2 minutes. And more than half of them are interested in buying. When 20 Dolly pills are sold, she will get 1 million. This is still the case when the number of pills is limited. Otherwise, she would be able to get soft when she just drew the percentage. On the other hand, the anchor, who was also promoting a certain master's new elixir, found that the popularity of the live broadcast room had decreased visibly to the naked eye. After looking at the barrage carefully, I realized that it was Rainbow Rabbit who was also pushing the pill. It is still a second-grade pill worth 500,000 pieces. Family, are you kidding me? The second-grade elixir sells for 500,000 apiece. Isn't this a fool? When will the Rainbow Rabbit start to lose money? Shu Hao looked at the bullet screen in the live broadcast room said. His live broadcast style has always been scornful, and he can say whatever he wants. The key is what he said. So no matter how ugly he is, the audience is willing to stand by him. I heard that the elixir sold by Rainbow Rabbit didn't even have a certification. When the audience asked which company or the master produced it, she didn't answer directly. It was obviously a privately refined elixir. Isn't this the 3 no's? There are so many fakes now, and I don't even look at the pills that are not produced by the master. Rainbow Rabbit, is she crazy, and she also accepts this kind of business order? The key is 500,000, how did she call it out? With such a stupid price, her live broadcast room must be blown away. It doesn't need to be so ugly. Now it's because of the monopoly of various masters, so it's hard for private alchemists to get ahead. That's right, and I just watched the live broadcast, and the pill is indeed worth the price. Can the sailors invited next door stop polluting my eyes? What second-grade elixir is worth 500,000 yuan? It's not the marrow washing elixir. Anyway, I have already reported it on the official website of the Alchemist Association. I'm going to report it too. Report and report. Rubbish anchors like Rainbow Rabbit should also get out of the live broadcast circle. Looking at the bullet screen, they were shouting to report the neighbor. Shu Hao did not stop. It's also elixir. If there is a problem with the rainbow rabbit, it will only be good for him. The master just called to ask why he didn't receive more orders. Now it seems that the reason is found. Zhang Yan ordered barbecue beer and watched the live broadcast on his tablet while eating dinner. Seeing that everyone responded well to the dolly pill processed by the synthesis station, he was ready to wait to collect the money, but found that there were a lot of discordant bullet screens in Shu Qing's live broadcast room. Garbage anchor, selling Sanwu products, and selling them at such an expensive price of 500,000 yuan, is this going to run away after making a fortune? Do you really believe that a second-grade elixir can increase one-handed strength by 1,000 kilograms? Unless you have a talent of level 7 or above, there is no way a second-grade elixir can achieve this effect. We seriously suspect that the anchor is selling fake products, and we have already reported it to the Alchemist Association. The anchor is just waiting to be blocked from the live broadcast room. Such an obvious scam, whoever buys it has a foolish brain. I advise everyone to buy regular products produced by the Alchemist Association. I heard that the new elixir launched by Master Shui Yan can also improve physical fitness and strength. The price is affordable and the effect is good. That's right, I've already placed an order, the quantity is limited, everyone hurry up. Seeing the bullet screens popping up in the live broadcast room, Shu Qing immediately lost her temper. The cameraman knew Shu Qing well, so he quickly stepped forward to persuade him in a low voice. Boss, hold on, we are broadcasting live, if these people want to report, let them report, as long as our products are fine. Shu Qing took a deep breath, looked at the live broadcast room and said, first of all, if you say that I sell fake products, you want to report me and block my live broadcast room, that's fine, but please show evidence. Instead of talking about fake products here, it seems you are very unprofessional. If you want to block my live broadcast, it is not something that can be done by shouting loudly. Secondly, you have a certain fan card, came to my live broadcast room to make trouble, and recommended other masters' products. Anyone with a brain knows what you are. Finally, who stipulates that the elixir from the Alchemist Association is the genuine one? Does the private alchemist not have to work anymore? Don't forget that Master Yi Hang, who refined the 9th grade Tianpo pill, is also a private alchemist. After hearing these words, many people felt the same way. I just said that the monopoly of the Alchemist Association has become too serious recently, and some people refuted me. The Alchemist Association will at least give the private alchemist a living, but the Alchemist Association has belittled the reputation of the private alchemist. What is certified by the Pharmacist Association as the 3-No product, which is inferior quality, who stipulated it? That's right, if you want everyone to go for certification, don't set such a high fee. It's a commission of 20 or 30 points at every turn, which harms the interests of alchemists and buyers. Only the Alchemist Association earn a lot of money. I've been watching Little Rainbow's live broadcast for almost 3 years. I've never seen Little Rainbow selling fake products. It's not like I haven't sold 6-figure items before. Why are so many monsters and ghosts appearing today, and all kinds of cerebral palsy speak? My master's goods can't be sold, so come out and bite people everywhere. I went to see it just now. Master Shui Yan's new product is priced at 80,000 pieces, a 3rd-grade elixir, and it will only increase by about 100 kilograms if taken by ordinary people. Didn't several anchors accept Master Shui Yan's new product promotion today? I heard that the side effects are quite serious. You can only take 1 pill a week at most. The 3rd-grade elixir is only priced at 80,000 yuan. This price is very conscientious. I'd better go buy Master Shui Yan's new product. Anyway, my financial situation does not allow me to take 2 pills of this price a week. The side effects will not affect me. I agree with Little Rainbow, but the price of Dolly Yuan is too high. I'd better go and see Master Shui Yan's new product. It's produced by the Alchemist Association, and the quality is guaranteed. Many viewers in the live broadcast room are still rational. But they felt that what Shu Qing said was reasonable, and it didn't prevent them from thinking that the price of Daliwan was high. 500,000 is enough to buy 4 new pills of Master Shui Yan. The key people are still 3 grades. Whether it is the materials used or the process of refining medicine. They are all 2nd-grade pills that are incomparable. Looking at it this way, it must be that the 3rd-grade pill is more cost-effective. Looking at the barrage comments in the live broadcast room, Shu Qing was too lazy to explain. These people really think that the elixir has side effects, but it's just not as simple as taking it continuously. As long as there are side effects, it is bound to cause damage to the body. This should be basic common sense. But in recent years, the Alchemist Association deliberately confused the concept for the convenience of selling goods. Especially the pills with five-figure prices. For many families, taking one tablet for several months is not bad. In this case, there is no continuous use. The side effects don't seem to have any effect. But many people ignore that the real consequence of side effects is that taking too much will cause permanent damage to the body. Obviously a serious problem, but he was ignored and ignored. Based on this alone, the Alchemist Association has nothing to do with it. That's why the reputation of the Alchemists Association is far inferior to the reason for the Artifacts Association. I still have the same old saying, when you buy things in my live broadcast room, you must do what you can. The products I promote range from a few hundred yuan to hundreds of thousands, meeting the needs of all walks of life. As Shu Qing was talking, she put Dolly pills on her online store, and set it to start grabbing 5 minutes later. I have already put Dolly pill on the shelves in the store, and I have demonstrated the effect to everyone just now. If you are interested, you can wait and buy it in my store. In addition, those who buy Dolly pills this time will have the priority to order next time. Shu Qing always felt that if it dragged on, Shu Hao would come to make trouble. It's better to sell the pill first. Other issues will be dealt with later. In the live broadcast room next door, Shu Hao has been paying attention to the sales of Master Shui Yan's new products. At this time, someone reminded that the pill from Rainbow Rabbit was also on the shelves. He clicked in and took a look. 550,000. Shu Hao couldn't help laughing out. She really dares to display this price. The second-grade elixir, Daliwen, isn't this just a joke? The audience in Shuao's live broadcast room also made all kinds of ridicule. This elixir can increase one-handed strength by 1,000 kilograms. Let alone 500,000, it's worth selling for 1 million. I saw who bought it when I saw it, and maybe a few rich fans of Rainbow Rabbit will give it a shot. I will definitely not be able to sell any of the remaining pills. This is not nonsense, whoever buys it is the one who writes. Just now the Alchemist Association called me back, saying that it will definitely investigate this matter strictly. Rainbow Rabbit is finished. Even if the Alchemist Association didn't investigate her this time, her reputation will definitely be rotten. Looking at the elixir he promoted, the sales increased steadily. Shu Hao is in a great mood. This wave of rhythm is too perfect. Pull the popularity back in an instant. After such a fuss, fans of Rainbow Rabbit must have gone to buy Master Shui Yan's elixir. Seeing that everyone was in high spirits, Shu Hao switched the interface to the sales page of Daliwen. Everyone, I believe you are also very curious about the sales of Daliwen. There is only half a minute left, so let me take you to see it. How many of the magical medicine that can increase hand strength by 1,000 kilograms can be sold? Shu Hao saw that the audience in the live broadcast room sprayed Rainbow Rabbit into such an idiot, and not many fans of Rainbow Rabbit came out to speak for her. He knew that victory was on his side. Now that the trouble has come to this point, he naturally doesn't have to have any scruples. Watch the excitement with the audience. Think of it as having fun. Finally, the last 10 seconds came. Everyone is watching the numbers jumping on the screen. They ridiculed and ridiculed wantonly. It seems that it has been foreseen that no one cares about Dolly Wan. But when the countdown to purchase is reset to 0, the number representing the inventory also instantly resets to 0. It is instant 0, the kind that can't even see the process. Shu Hao was dumbfounded. The audience in his live broadcast room were also dumbfounded. After a while, someone responded. Did I read it right? It was sold short. This is 550,000 yuan, not 50,000 yuan. The second-grade elixir is so expensive, but there are fools buying it. I'm looking for a babysitter. Anyway, I don't believe it. Why don't you believe me? Go to the live broadcast room next door, and a lot of big bosses from Golden Crown came out, saying that they didn't get the Dolly pill, so let Rainbow Rabbit quickly replenish it. Really, I'll go and have a look. Let's go, I'll go to Rainbow Rabbit to see the situation. Looking at the popularity of the live broadcast room, it dropped a lot in the blink of an eye. Xu Hao's face turned blue. He is more aware of the purchasing power of these local tyrants on the live broadcast platform than ordinary viewers. So he didn't feel that even a single dolly pill could not be sold. But he expected 5 at most. And it will take a long time to sell. Who knew the countdown was over? Straight away. What is this concept? That is to say, if there is enough stock, Dolly Wan can sell more than 200 pieces. The key is to do this, and many viewers will be attracted to it. He's just getting started. It seems that the sales of the elixir from Master Shui Yan are just a little bit. Now there is no movement again. How can it go on like this? Thinking of this, Xu Hao didn't care about the live broadcast, picked up his phone and sent Shui Yan a message. On Xu Qing's side, she was patiently answering questions from the audience. There is absolutely no problem with the quality of the elixirs. If you are worried, you can come to the imperial capital to pick up the goods in person. I will send someone to accompany you to the authority for safety testing. The Dolly Wan is definitely still in stock, but when the second batch will come out, I have to wait and ask the funder's father. What I said counts. The first batch of dolly pills to buy will enjoy priority ordering rights for future dolly pills. I don't guarantee that everyone can increase their one-handed strength by 1,000 kilograms after taking the dolly pill. This has something to do with everyone's cultivation base, cultivation talent, and the amount of pills they have taken recently, but I can guarantee that the effect of the pills you will never be disappointed. At this moment, Xu Qing's cell phone rang. Glancing at the caller ID, she raised her head and said, "Wait a minute, the caller's father is calling, I'll answer it." Xu Qing walked to the corner of the room and pressed the answer button. "How about it? Are you satisfied with the effect of today's live broadcast?" Xu Qing said with a smile. "Second-grade dolly pills, I only plan to sell 200 pieces for the time being." Zhang Yan looked at the 20 bottles of Qingyu pills on the table that cost more than a dozen low-grade spirit stones to synthesize this morning, and said calmly. "Why?" Xu Qing was slightly taken aback. "Of course I have better things here." Zhang Yan raised his eyebrows and said. "Really?" Xu Qing's eyes lit up, and she regained her spirits immediately. "Hurry up, tell me, it can't be the third-grade dolly pill, then you have to leave 2 for me when the time comes. If you want the Sanpan dolly pill, I can sell it to you privately, but what I want to sell in the live broadcast room is another kind of elixir." Zhang Yan said. "There is really a third-grade dolly pill." Xu Qing was very excited, but she still asked patiently, "What kind of pill do you want to sell?" "Actually, I think dolly pill is very good. We have already made a name for ourselves today, and we will wait for it in the future. Just collect the money. The pill I want to sell is similar to Yunling pill, but it lasts longer and is not limited by talent." Zhang Yan briefly introduced the efficacy of the advanced version of the second-grade Yunling pill. What he lacked was never cash, but lingxi. The cash he got in exchange for 200 second-grade green jade pills was enough for him to spend a long time. So next, he had to find a way to earn more spirit stones. Since he wanted to earn spirit stones, the locked-in customers must be warriors or spiritual masters. After thinking about it, the advanced version of the second-grade Yunling pill is the most suitable. Compared with Qingyu pill, which is a simple and crude pill to improve strength, Yunling pill, which can improve cultivation in all directions, is obviously more favored by middle and high-level warriors. "Wait, you said you are not limited by talent." Xu Qing wondered if she heard it wrong. If it is a pill similar to Yunling pill, not limited by talents, doesn't it mean that anyone who takes it can increase the speed of spiritual power absorption by 10 times? Also, this medicine lasts longer, by how much? Xu Qing continued to ask uncertainly. Zhang Yan thought about it for a while. "Let's take an hour." Xu Qing. If she hadn't worked with Zhang Yan once, she would definitely have thought that Zhang Yan was bragging. "You must know that the efficacy of Yipin Yunling pill is only 10 minutes. The efficacy of the second-grade Yunling pill is only half an hour. Zhang Yan, this is directly an hour. That probably corresponds to the third-grade Yunling pill, right? Plus there is no talent limit. This elixir will be snapped up at the auction. However, I don't sell this elixir for cash, only lingju or lingxi." Zhang Yan added. "That's it." Xu Qing pondered slightly. "It's possible, but it's not so convenient to trade." If you don't accept cash, you can only trade in person. Fortunately, her place is the imperial capital. In addition, the elixir is good enough, so there is no need to worry about selling it. Of course, those who can afford it are only a handful. In this case, it is not possible to pursue large quantities and large sales. It will be more reliable to only develop regular customers. Oh, I'm still broadcasting live. Shu Qing suddenly realized, let's talk about the details of the new product later. I'll tell the audience about the situation of Dolly Pill, and then tell them about the new pill. Very interested. Well, let's go. Zhang Yan nodded. Shu Qing hung up the phone and hurried back to the camera. It turned out that there was already a lot of noise in the live broadcast room. What's the situation? Shu Qing glanced at the staff next to her. I heard that someone reported you, and the Alchemist Association has accepted it, and they sent someone to come over to us. The photographer said in a low voice. Shu Qing was shocked. Which eye of the Alchemist Association saw her selling fake products? There is no evidence. If people report, they will be accepted directly. This is not nonsense. Turn on all the cameras in the training room. Shu Qing thought for a while and said. She was obviously being manipulated today. If something unexpected happens, even the live broadcast will be shut down. Then she still has the video as proof. Also, if you want to return the product, return it quickly. Shu Qing looked at the live broadcast room and said, I have already asked the Gold Master's father just now that the total number of second-grade Dolly pills is only more than 200 pieces. Those who choose to return the product today will never again. I have the qualifications to purchase Dolly pills, so I can only use my live broadcast room to assure everyone that there is no problem with the pills, and I don't want to explain anything else. Only sell more than 200 pieces. Such a treasure. My lord is not short of these few dollars. As long as there is no problem with the pill, I will definitely buy it again if it is replenished in the future. The live broadcast room is about to be seized. Why are you still doing hunger sales? Selling counterfeit goods will kill you. More than 200 pieces. Soon the 20 pieces you sold today will be useless, and there are more than 200 pieces. This kind of no product, if it is given to me for free, I won't even want it. If I feed it to the dog, I'm afraid it will spoil my stomach, so it's still sold for 550,000. I really don't know what these rich people think. They obviously don't buy regular products from the Alchemist Association, but they buy pills from private alchemists. That's not how money is spent. The barrage polarization in the live broadcast room is very serious. Shu Qing was too lazy to argue with Heitzi. Since it is said that people from the Alchemist Association are coming, then she will wait patiently. She wants to see it. These people have no evidence. What can they do to themselves? ... Waited for about an hour. Shu Qing even finished the dinner live broadcast, and the talents from the Alchemist Association were long overdue. They were all in suits. There are 2 young men and a woman over half a year old. We received a report and heard that you are selling fake products in the live broadcast room, so come here to check if it is true. One of the young people first showed his ID and immediately explained his purpose. Check casually, I will definitely cooperate with everyone's work. Shu Qing spread her hands. Seeing that the Alchemist Association really came, the audience in the live broadcast room immediately lifted their spirits. The anchor is amazing. The Alchemist Association has found out about it, and they still look calm. If it's not that they have confidence in their hearts, then their acting skills are so good that they explode. Witnessing an internet celebrity with tens of millions of fans fall from the altar with my own eyes, it's worth waiting for an hour. The popularity of Little Rainbow's live broadcast room is almost over 5 million. Thank you for the traffic sent by my family. I can guarantee that not only will nothing happen to our little rainbow, but we will take this opportunity to soar into the sky and piss you off. Quote. It's all on the hot search. Ties, work harder, it's better to make it bigger. Now that the professionals have arrived, there is no need for everyone to argue. Let's see what the Alchemist Association has to say. The leading middle-aged woman took out a tablet computer from her bag, and clicked on a video. Miss Shu, may I ask that this video is from your live broadcast room, right? Shu Qing tilted her head and glanced at the video where she asked the cameraman to test the medicine. She nodded and said, that's right, there was no falsification, no editing, and it was broadcast live. Do you think it's reasonable for a second-grade elixir to make an ordinary person with a one-handed strength of only 500 kilograms rise to more than 1,500 kilograms in a few minutes? The middle-aged woman looked at Shu Qing expressionlessly. Wrote. Existence is reasonable, the facts are in front of you. Anyway, I still say that there is nothing wrong with the pills I sell. Shu Qing said calmly. That's because the grade of the pill is wrong. The middle-aged woman pushed the glasses on the bridge of her nose. If it is a third-grade or fourth-grade pill, but you falsely claim that it is a second-grade pill to arouse the topic, it is also false propaganda, although it is not as serious as selling counterfeit medicines, but it also violates the regulations of the Alchemists Association, and we have the right to ask you to stop any behavior of selling medicines. That's okay. Shu Qing laughed angrily. She took out the elixir she had prepared early in the morning and put it in front of the camera in the live broadcast room. Not loud enough, but definitely recognizable in appearance. After finishing speaking, Shu Qing handed the elixir to the middle-aged woman. I took the initiative to invite a few people to test the safety and efficacy of the elixir. If there is any discrepancy with the propaganda, I am willing to accept punishment. After a pause, Shu Qing continued. In addition, there are more than a dozen cameras in this room, which will definitely allow the 5 million viewers in my live broadcast room to see your professionalism. Shu Qing's words also meant to warn the people of the Alchemist Association not to engage in petty tricks. More than a dozen high-definition cameras can definitely record any of their movements. It seems that Ms. Shu is very confident. The middle-aged woman took the pill and handed it to a young man beside her. We have brought all the testing tools, and the results will be available in about 10 minutes. I can only ask you to be patient. It's over. The young man took the pill respectfully. Another person immediately opened the bag and took out a delicate instrument from it. They scraped a little powder off the elixir. Then put it into the instrument and turn on the detection switch. Listening to the sound of the instrument operating, Shu Qing still felt a little nervous. She's only been tested with real people. What can be seen is superficial. However, the equipment of the Alchemist Association can detect it from many aspects. Can pass the test of this instrument. In a disguised form, it was certified by the Alchemist Association. This is also the reason why she took the initiative to take out the elixir. Just pass this one. It's useless for anyone to trouble her again. Time passed by every minute and every second. The audience in the live broadcast room were all staring at the screen. Even many anchors came to watch the excitement. Shuao is naturally among them. He was very grateful for the text message he sent to Shui Yan. Shui Yan said hello. Accept any report. Shu Qing can only accept the investigation. Now everything is going in the direction he expected. It was Shu Qing's attitude that made him a little uncertain. This little girl is too calm, right? The key doesn't look like it's pretending. At this moment, the instrument beeped to indicate the end of the test. The two young men immediately stepped forward and exported the test data. But when they see the content displayed above, instantly petrified. What's going on? Is there a problem with the test result? The middle-aged woman stepped forward suspiciously. There is a problem with the pill, which is well known to everyone. But the reactions of these two students are too strange. Teacher, you should watch it yourself. One of the young men handed the tablet to the middle-aged woman. The middle-aged woman took the tablet suspiciously. After only one glance, his eyes suddenly widened. This is impossible, the middle-aged woman exclaimed directly. The instrument they brought cannot detect the specific raw materials of the pill. But it can detect more than 10 indicators such as security, stability, compatibility and so on. Data that can be seen by middle-aged women. But every indicator. The results are all displayed perfectly. Are you crazy? In the Alchemist Association, whenever someone refines a pill, there is one indicator that has reached perfection. They can all be singled out for praise. And only a very few masters have such a level. The elixir tested by the Alchemist Association, the highest record ever, was only perfect in 5 indicators. It was a pill unearthed from the ancient ruins. No one can refine it. Now, she saw a pill. Every indicator is perfect. It's not crazy, what is? Seeing the middle-aged woman's reaction, Shu Qing's heart skipped a beat. Why is there such a big reaction? Is there really a problem with the pill? But it doesn't make sense. She still has basic judgment ability. After taking the Erpen Daliwan given to her by Zhang Yan, she didn't feel any discomfort. This means that the pill is of good quality. Otherwise, as a martial artist, if there is something wrong with his body, he will definitely feel it right away. The audience in the live broadcast room is also guessing. What's the situation? Is this a car overturned? Looking at this reaction, I must have found something unusual. Could it be that illegal drugs were used? That's a big deal. The anchor doesn't have the guts yet, and she's not stupid. Why did she take the initiative to take the contraband to the Alchemist Association for inspection? She didn't refine the elixir. The anchor is only responsible for collecting money, so how do I know what's in it? While everyone was discussing, the middle-aged woman suddenly raised her head and said, "Test again, and use a comparison sample to see if there is something wrong with the instrument." "Yes, teacher." After the two young people responded, they quickly began to prepare samples for retesting. Just as Xu Qing wanted to ask what was going on, she received a text message. "Zhang Yan, sister, don't stab me out." Seeing this, Xu Qing's expression changed. This kid, isn't he going to run away? She took it all down. No, 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 don't panic. At a time like this, she must not lose her footing. Maybe Zhang Yan didn't mean that. Soon, the data of the comparison sample and the results of the second test came out. After the middle-aged woman got the data, she was silent for a long time. "Miss Xu, can I ask, who is the one who asked you to promote this elixir?" The middle-aged woman looked at Xu Qing and said, "This is a commercial secret, how can I disclose it casually?" Xu Qing pointed to the data in the middle-aged woman's hand. "Well, you should tell the test results first, so many people are waiting." "There is nothing wrong with the test results. This is a very good pill. I apologize for my previous ignorance," the middle-aged woman said seriously. "Apologize to me?" Xu Qing stared. "Which song is this sung?" "That's right," the middle-aged woman sighed. "Facts have proved that my vision is still too narrow. Before I came here, I couldn't imagine that there is a second-grade elixir that can achieve the effect you said. But now that the data is in front of me, I have to admit that this elixir has such abilities. It is not only an elixir, but also a work of art." The two young men next to him also nodded in agreement. Taking the test data back today will definitely surprise everyone in the Alchemist Association. Every indicator, all perfect. This result is so shocking. Xu Qing was confused. What the hell is art? Is this the word used to describe the pill? But the test result is fine. Guys, these few are authoritative experts from the Alchemist Association. Now even they say that there is no problem with the elixir, so you should rest assured now. Xu Qing looked at the live broadcast room and said, "I'll just say it's no problem. When is the quality of the things sold in the Little Rainbow live broadcast room not guaranteed?" You don't believe what Little Rainbow said, but now that the experts from the Alchemist Association are speaking, you guys should believe it, right? These experts are definitely from the Alchemist Association. They can't be fakes found by some people, right? It's hard to say. It's also possible to direct and act on your own. Anchor, can we also take a look at the test results? Looking at the barrage on the screen, Xu Hao also had the same question in his mind. Which side are these guys on? Wasn't it the person Shui Yan found? Why did she speak for Xu Qing? Besides, he is an expert of the Alchemist Association anyway, so how could he not see that there is something wrong with this elixir? No matter how awesome the second-grade elixir is, it is impossible to have such an effect. Anyway, he has never seen it. What's more, these experts who have to contact a lot of pills every day. I really don't understand. Just when Shuao was considering whether to call Shui Yan, the middle-aged woman handed the test data to Xu Qing. "Miss Xu, I'm sorry for causing such a misunderstanding. Such an excellent medicine should not be questioned. It's the test result, you can show it to the audience, and anyone who understands it will know what it means." Xu Qing didn't know why and took the tablet. When she saw the data above, her pupils shrank suddenly. Perfect, perfect, perfect. The test results of all indicators in the entry are perfect. God, does this elixir really exist? Even an ignorant person like her knows how awesome such a test result is. Seeing the barrage in the live broadcast room constantly urging, Xu Qing took a deep breath and said, "Everyone, this statistic is a bit scary, you have to be mentally prepared." What's scary and not scary? My sub-professional is refining medicine. No matter how awesome the test data is, there are only two more perfect indicators in the sky. There is no need for the anchor to make a fuss. That's right, there are many professionals in the live broadcast room now. Whether the pill is good or not, you will know when the test results are shown for everyone to see. Do you really think that the perfect target is so easy to achieve? As long as one target is perfect, the efficacy of the medicine will vary greatly. The effect of this elixir is enough to defy the sky. It is not surprising that there are several perfect indicators. The premise is that the elixir is indeed no problem. Shu Qing adjusted the camera, then raised the tablet in her hand. Look, everyone, this is the internal network of the Alchemist Association. After their test data is exported, it will appear on this page. Shu Qing pulled the data from the beginning to the end, looked at the live broadcast room and asked, "Now you still think this isn't the data scary enough?" Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. When the audience saw the content on the tablet clearly, the barrage in the live broadcast room collectively turned into an exclamation point. After a long time, a big man with a golden crown spoke. "Isn't this really peas?" When the others reacted, they all went crazy. This kind of data really exists. I suspect I'm blind. The equipment must be broken. Either the equipment is broken, or my brain is broken. Everyone, I want to remind you that this is a comparative test, and the chance of error is extremely small, and they have tested it twice, so the chance of error does not exist at all. The data can't be fake, right? Or is there something wrong with the experts? This is really the internal network of the Alchemist Association. I also checked the experts on the official website of the Alchemist Association. I just want to ask, do I still have a chance to buy Dolly Wan? Looking at the crazy situation in the live broadcast room, and the excited expressions of several experts around him, Shu Qing finally understood why Zhang Yan said, "Don't stab him out." If this exposes her identity, can she still have a peaceful life? Chapter 89. After repeatedly confirming the authenticity of the test data, the headquarters of the Alchemist Association also attracted attention. "Director Zhang, please be sure to get the contact information of this pharmacist. In addition, it is best to bring back the tested elixir." This time, even the higher-ups were alarmed. "Don't worry, I will do my best." After talking on the phone with the headquarters of the Alchemist Association, Zhang Yuehua took the initiative to come to Shu Qing's side. "Miss Shu, can you talk to me after your live broadcast is over?" "What are you talking about?" Shu Qing turned around and asked. "You don't want to ask for the contact information again, do you? Then I'll give you what I said just now. This is a commercial secret. As long as my partner doesn't agree, I can't tell you give his contact information to anyone understand? Even if you are an expert of the Alchemist Association." "Zhang Yuehua, what big boss is Little Rainbow cooperating with? How come even experts from the Alchemist Association want the contact information of the partner?" Need to say, the anchor must have hugged his thigh this time. To be able to refine such a powerful pill, just thinking about it, you know that your identity must be extraordinary. "I don't care about these, I only care about when the second batch of Dolly pills will be on the shelves, and whether I can grab them. There are only 200 pieces, so it's worth buying and collecting." There was a lot of discussion in the live broadcast room. Shu Qing glanced at the time, then raised her head and said, "Today, I will temporarily broadcast it here for everyone, and I have to arrange delivery for the bosses who have snatched Dolly pills later, so I can only download it earlier. In addition, let me give you a preview of the new pill that the father of the Gold Master will launch soon. I heard that the effect is similar to that of Yunling pill, but there is no talent limit. However, this kind of elixir can only be traded offline, and the father of the Gold Master only accepts Lingxi Lingju. So everyone understands. Interested friends, hurry up and prepare the spirit stone." As soon as these words came out, there was a vacuum period of about 2 seconds in the barrage. Immediately, the live broadcast room exploded. "A elixir similar to Yunling pill doesn't have any talent restrictions. Are you sure it's not my ears that have a problem? This elixir is much stronger than Dolly Wan. What kind of scary boss is the anchor cooperating with? Why are the things they sell getting more and more outrageous? It's too much to only trade Lingxi and Lingju. We are here on the earth, not the world of the heavens. When do you need Lingxi to buy things? The goods are in the hands of the boss, so what you want to sell, isn't he the one who has the final say? The discussion in the live broadcast room was in full swing, and Shu Qing had decisively turned off the live broadcast. The main reason is that if this continues, it may not be able to hold. It's better to retreat in time and wait for everyone to calm down. She needs to calm down too. Miss Shu, what you said just now is true. It is similar to Yunling pill, but has no talent limit. Does it really exist? Zhang Yuehua asked with restrained excitement. The raw materials of Yunling pill are actually not cheap. However, due to the limitation of talent, the price of elixir has not been able to go up. In response to this problem, the Alchemist Association even set up a special research team to improve the formula of Yunling pill. However, over the past few years, not much progress has been made. Now she heard about the existence of this elixir from the mouth of an internet celebrity in a live broadcast area. How can this make her not excited? After the test data of the Key Dolly pill came out, the authenticity of Shu Qing's words instantly increased dozens of times. Now she is even more eager to know the identity of the person behind Shu Qing. Of course it's true. Shu Qing took off her gloves and opened a bottle of mineral water. Before drinking, she glanced at Zhang Yuehua. Is there anything else the experts can do? Since there is no problem with the second-grade Dolly pill, can you go back? I really don't have much energy to entertain you. After all, it's my job now time. There are still a lot of things to be busy. I'm sorry to disturb Ms. Shu. Since you don't want to give me the contact information of your partner, then I can leave Ms. Shu's contact information, right? Zhang Yuehua said patiently. If she hadn't considered the person behind Shu Qing, she wouldn't have given such a good face to an internet celebrity. Not to mention handing over the test data of Erpen Dolly pill to Shu Qing. These are just means for her to get in touch with Shu Qing. Of course my contact information is fine, and it's not a secret. Shu Qing found a pen and paper, wrote down the mobile phone number and handed it to Zhang Yuehua. Walk slowly, I won't give it away. Zhang Yuehua's face froze, but she still picked up the phone number. I will contact Ms. Shu later. Our Alchemist Association has countless businesses every month. I look forward to the day when we can cooperate with Ms. Shu. After speaking, Zhang Yuehua took the people and left. Shu Qing also breathed a sigh of relief. Immediately, he quickly called Zhang Yan. Handsome Zhang Da, tell me the truth, where did you get these pills? Shu Qing asked straight to the point. The little handsome guy has become a big handsome guy. You have a big span. Zhang Yan said half-jokingly while lying on the bed. Don't change the subject for me, I was almost scared to death today. Shu Qing was still in a panic when she thought about the test data just now and the experts' reaction from the Alchemist Association. I definitely didn't refine the elixir. I just want to sell the goods and don't want to get into any trouble, understand? Zhang Yan raised his eyebrows. I understand, isn't it because I'm helping you resist the pressure? I don't want to lose you, a rich man, if you get into any trouble. Shu Qing said angrily. Just know it. Zhang Yan raised his mouth slightly. Do as I tell you obediently, and your benefits will definitely be indispensable. Compared with Zhang Yan and Shu Qing, Shu Hao is not so happy. He knew he must have hit the iron plate. After hurriedly downloading the broadcast, I received a call from Shui Yan. What's your situation? You've broadcast live so early. My elixir has only sold more than 300 pieces today. I'll give you a few million promotion fees. That's how you promote it to me. Hearing the roar from the mobile phone, Shu Hao could only smile wryly. Master Shui Yan, today's situation is special. All the traffic on my side has been snatched by the Rainbow Rabbit, and the quality of their pills is so high, I don't know what to do. There is a way. The second-grade elixir can increase the strength of one hand by 1,000 kilograms. It sounds like a fantasy. But when someone else's test data was taken out, there was nothing wrong with it. Slapped them all in the face. Now he is afraid to face his fans. This bad old man also came to get angry with him. He was really unlucky to accept this order. Rainbow Rabbit, didn't you say that she sells counterfeit medicine? My side has already been dealt with, and her live broadcast room has not been blocked yet. Shui Yan couldn't understand. Master Shui Yan, don't you know? Just now, your experts personally tested that the second-grade dolly pill promoted by Rainbow Rabbit has reached perfection in all indicators. This matter has become a hot search. Several of you you even asked Rainbow Rabbit for the contact information of your partner. Shu Hao was speechless. Shouldn't such a big matter be known to everyone in the Alchemist Association? Why did Shui Yan come to ask him? What did you say? Shui Yan's eyes widened. He just heard that someone in the association was spreading the word. What more than a dozen indicators have all reached the perfect elixir? I thought who was bragging. After a long time, is it the fake medicine sold in the Rainbow Rabbit live broadcast room? The key point is that he also accepted reports from the masses without authorization. No wonder the tone was very bad when the higher-ups called him a few minutes ago. He thought that the sales of his new elixir were not good, and the higher-ups deliberately showed him face. After working for a long time, so many things happened in the middle. Oops, if other people's test results are okay, more than a dozen indicators can really be perfect. Wouldn't he be miserable then? Although he had already obtained the title of Master in the Alchemist Association 2 years ago. But compared with the characters who can refine this kind of elixir. What a fart he is. ... This matter has been buzzing for some time. The popularity of Shu Qing's live broadcast has also doubled several times. Every day, 6 to 7 million viewers squatted in the live broadcast room, either inquiring about the news of Dolly Pill and new pills, or inquiring about the refiner's news in different ways. The Alchemist Association also started with 2 calls a day. All kinds of business orders were thrown at her, but she dared not accept them. Because she knows exactly what these people are for. This kind of day makes her painful and happy. In contrast, Zhang Yan. With the sale of more than 200 second-grade dolly pills, he now has more than 100 million funds in his hand. Don't be too chic in life. And after getting familiar with Lone Star art gradually, he also took the 6 4th-grade Yunling pills that he synthesized earlier. Immediately, his cultivation improved by leaps and bounds, and he successfully became a second-tier warrior. During this period, he did not encounter any bottlenecks. This all depends on the efficacy of the 4th-grade Yunling pill. It is the synthesis of this thing, which is more expensive to burn spirit stones. After a few tosses, in addition, a few bottles of the second-grade Yunling pill were synthesized, and they were going to be sold in Shu Qing's live broadcast room for trial sale. There are very few spirit stones in his hand now. But after the second-grade Yunling pill is sold, the spirit stone will no longer be a problem. Finally, the day came when the results of the college entrance examination came out. Not surprisingly, Zhang Yan's grades are all S, or SS. Except for a few cultural exams, the hips are a little stretched. But it doesn't affect. Many colleges and universities don't look at cultural achievements, as long as they can get by. After checking the results of the college entrance examination, Zhang Yan filled out the application form by the way. His grades are more than enough to get into Shanghai University. Next, just wait for the admission notice. At this moment, he received a message from Su Mengran. Su Mengran, I've already arrived in Shanghai, come out for a meal. Zhang Yan, okay, give me the address. 10 minutes later, Zhang Yan took a taxi and came to a Chinese restaurant with an elegant environment. Find Su Mengran's private room. As soon as he entered the door, Zhang Yan saw a beautiful figure sitting by the window. Her long, icy blue curly hair was casually draped behind her shoulders, she was wearing a ladylike skirt, and she even wore light makeup, which added a different temperament to the already delicate facial features. If there is any difference from before, it is probably more feminine. You came very fast. Su Mengran propped her chin with one hand, tilted her head and looked at Zhang Yan. I live near Modu University, and it's only a few minutes' drive from here. Zhang Yan stepped forward and sat opposite Su Mengran. The results of the college entrance examination came out today, have you decided which school to go to? Su Mengran knew that with Zhang Yan's results, it was not the school that chose him, but he chose the school. Modu University, my sister is also in this school. Zhang Yan glanced at Su Mengran, what about you? Of course I'm going to Imperial University. Su Mengran said. Then why did you come to Shanghai so early? Zhang Yan was a little puzzled. There is still more than a month before the opening of Secret Realm number 37. Su Mengran came to Shanghai so early, could it be that he planned to travel? Have you heard of the Sea Monster Festival? Su Mengran picked up the tea and took a sip. Sea Monster Festival. Zhang Yan was slightly taken aback. What kind of weird festival is this? It doesn't sound serious. The so-called Sea Monster Festival is an ancient ruin near the sea area of the magic capital. It will be open for a short period of time every year. This ancient ruin is unique in that it is not dangerous. After entering it, it is all about luck, so it has evolved into a kind of festival over time. Those who know will go to join in the fun. Su Mengran explained. Oh, Zhang Yan nodded, obviously not very interested. After entering this secret realm, if you are lucky, you can get the state of being possessed by a fairy. During the period of being possessed by a fairy, you can use all the abilities of a fairy. Su Mengran smiled and said, in other words, you can try to learn these abilities. As for how much you can learn, it depends on your own ability. Immortal possession. Zhang Yan was dumbfounded. Isn't this the inheritance dungeon in the online game, The Heavens? However, according to Su Mengran, there is a time limit for this fairy-possessed state. So it should belong to a relatively low-level inheritance copy. The most important thing is that the ability of the immortal can be obtained in a short time. Then his upper limit of spiritual power will also increase. The increase in the upper limit of spiritual power means that he can synthesize higher-level items. What skills, weapons, blood-sucking vines. All can come with a major upgrade. And you can also try to synthesize Shenmai Pill and Medicine Core. This must go. It seems that you are very interested. Su Mengran looked at Zhang Yan with a half-smile. You're generally interested. Zhang Yan came back to his senses and said, after all, you also said that this state of being possessed by a fairy can only be encountered by luck. Isn't this just like winning the lottery? Actually, luck can sometimes be created by oneself. Su Mengran said with a faint smile. For example, all people who enter the ruins violate the rules. As long as you are within the scope of the rules, the state of being possessed by a fairy is no longer luck, but it is inevitable. Hearing Su Mengran's words, Zhang Yan was greatly shocked. This woman is too bad. How can he tell his plan in advance? His idea is simple. Since it was a matter of luck, he let everyone have bad luck. It's all bad luck and possessed, so why is it possessed by a fairy? After all, immortals are also afraid of bad luck. Who knew that this woman had similar thoughts to him? It's crazy. What are you going to do? Zhang Yan asked tentatively. There is a rule that must be followed in the Sea Monster Festival, that is, you can't touch the sea water, otherwise you will be eliminated directly. Su Mengran leaned forward slightly with her upper body, and said in a strange tone, so are you willing to cooperate with me? I can put the reward for Secret Realm number 37 will be given to you in advance, and I guarantee that it will definitely be better than what you chose at Modu University. Zhang Yan knew that Su Mengran was talking about the martial arts that he had promised him before. Actually, he wasn't in a hurry anymore. Especially after confirmation, copying and hand-copied exercises can also be synthesized. Su Mengran's conditions no longer appeal to him. What's more, Su Mengran wants the immortal inheritance, and he also wants it. Then don't talk about cooperation. I can only do it alone. I think it's better to be upright and upright as a human being. Let's not make any small moves in this kind of pure luck. Zhang Yan said earnestly. Upright. Su Mengran's eyes were full of astonishment. Are you sure it's appropriate for you to use this kind of words to describe yourself? What's inappropriate? I act upright and sit upright, and I will never do anything against my heart. Zhang Yan said solemnly. Quote. Su Mengran didn't know how to answer for a while. So, how to get to the ruins of the Sea Monster Festival? Zhang Yan continued to ask. It's not a secret, you can find out after checking it online. Seeing Zhang Yan's refusal to cooperate, Su Mengran was not angry at all. You didn't say it earlier. Zhang Yan thought it would take some effort to get the words out of Su Mengran's mouth, who knew that Su Mengran was so direct, but he was not used to it. Then let's talk about business. Su Mengran put away the smile on her face, looked at Zhang Yan and asked, what do you want to do at the Red Lotus Ruins? Although there is not much information about the Red Lotus Ruins released to the public. But as long as you investigate carefully, you will know that the Red Lotus ruins are controlled by the three major families. People who are not members of the three major families have no possibility of entering. Why did Zhang Yan suddenly come up with this unrealistic idea? She didn't think it was Zhang Yan's whim. There must be other reasons. I can't say this for the time being, just tell me if there is a way to get me in. Zhang Yan definitely couldn't reveal the existence of the treasure map. This little girl seemed to be bewildered, trying her best to improve her strength. When the time comes, you may have a good idea when you see the money. It is necessary to be defensive. Although I have severed ties with the Su family, I happen to have the key to the Red Lotus ruins in my hand. Su Mengran spread out her palm, and a lotus-shaped key appeared in her hand out of thin air. I saw that the whole body of the key was like jade. At the position of Lianxin, there is also a ray of light that resembles a flame. Zhang Yan couldn't figure out Su Mengran's identity. Even the key to the Red Lotus ruins. This is not the head of the family, it must be the elder level. In this way, he severed ties with the Su family. Is it the rebellious girl who ran away from home, or is there something unknown inside? I won't play around with you, you have to let me see your sincerity. Su Mengran took back the key and continued. To tell you the truth, I am still interested in the other two items in the black secret treasure box. If you want to give it to me, and when the Red Lotus ruins open next time, I'll take you in directly, and I can do it earlier than anyone else. That's a pity. Zhang Yan sighed helplessly. I've already taken the elixir, and sold the scroll for money. Otherwise, how do you think I could become a Tier 2 warrior so quickly? Are you already a Tier 2 warrior? Su Mengran's pupils shrank. She felt that Zhang Yan's strength had improved. But before doing it, she couldn't be sure of Zhang Yan's specific cultivation level. Just over a month ago, Zhang Yan's one-handed strength was only over 3,000 kilograms. During the college entrance examination, it somehow became nearly 40,000 kilograms. When we meet again, we will be Tier 2 warriors. Will this person never encounter bottlenecks in his cultivation? That's right. Zhang Yan spread his hands and said, nonsense, I'm not planning to enter the University of Magic City. If my strength is too low, I'm afraid my classmates will look down on me. Since you don't have anything in your hand, how can you negotiate terms with me? Su Mengran said with her arms folded, her eyebrows slightly frowned. Seeing Su Mengran turn his face is faster than turning a book. Zhang Yan tut-tut and shook his head. He knew that Su Mengran's attitude just now was all fake. You tell me what you lack first, so I can know if I have what you need here. Zhang Yan is not in a hurry, the conditions can be negotiated slowly, not to mention that Su Mengran has a clear goal, that is, he wants all kinds of cultivation resources and things that improve your strength. If the quality is not enough, isn't it possible to make up for it with quantity? Su Mengran thought for a while and said, I'm not very picky either. If the exercises or spirit techniques above level 6 are suitable for ice-type spiritual masters, level 5 is fine, and spirit techniques must be level 6. I'm not in short supply of elixir, but if it's elixir with special effects, I'll consider it. Of course, the grade must not be low. Others, like the secret treasure box, the brand new ruins, I am very happy to accept. Zhang Yan, isn't this very challenging? His cultivation needs to be improved by at least one level before he can synthesize what Su Mengran needs. Well, I heard that the film world is about to open, how about I invite you to spend money in the film world? Zhang Yan said without hope. Do you know how to get to the Shadow Realm? Su Mengran suddenly stood up. Seeing Su Mengran's reaction, Zhang Yan knew something was going on. After working for a long time, Su Mengran still didn't know how to get to the film world. Isn't this a free opportunity? The existence of the Shadow Realm, Zhang Yan also learned about it last time in a small shop where he exchanged spirit stones. From the various collectibles in that store, and the treasure pig that the boss can only pull spirit stones. You can see that this store is extraordinary. And just a little bit of news that you hear casually can make Su Mengran interested. This is not a lot to patronize a few times. Why don't you speak? Seeing that Zhang Yan didn't respond, Su Mengran couldn't help but become anxious. Since breaking off ties with the Su family, it is not so easy to go to the film world. It is very difficult to find channels just to buy tickets for entry qualifications. She has inquired about many places in the imperial capital, but there is no relevant information. You know, the shadow realm is connected to the world of the heavens. The materials that can be obtained there are not comparable to those ordinary ruins on the earth. If you miss this latest opportunity, you will have to wait another 2 years. She may not be able to afford it. I know how to get to the film world. Zhang Yan withdrew his thoughts and looked at Su Mengran, so you agreed. If you can really take me to the film world, of course I can promise you. Su Mengran said without thinking. It can be fake, but when the time comes to buy the entry qualification, it should cost a little money. I won't reimburse you for this. Zhang Yan vaccinated Su Mengran in advance. Although he said that he invited Su Mengran to go to the movie world for consumption. But for the money he shouldn't pay, he will not pay a penny. Waiting to go to the movie world. He casually buys some small things for Su Mengran, just to make sense of it. Anyway, this woman must be richer than him. He stopped showing off. Opportunities to pretend to show off their wealth must be reserved for the rich. Forget it if he is poor. You just need to introduce the channel to me. After the matter is completed, I will take you in as soon as the Red Lotus ruins open next time. Su Mengran calmed down and sat back on her seat. Then it's settled. I'll talk to the boss later to confirm that I can buy it, and then I'll contact you. Zhang Yan is also worried that there are not many entrants in the movie world. Even Su Mengran couldn't find a place to buy it. It shows that this thing is quite tight. If you go late, all will be bought. Then there is no play. Don't be late, go now, I'll wait for your good news. Su Mengran looked at Zhang Yan eagerly. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Zhang Yan was full of question marks. I haven't eaten yet. I'll invite you to eat something better later. Su Mengran said with a smile. All right, all right. Zhang Yan could also see Su Mengran's eagerness. He didn't have to eat this meal. After all, it is related to whether you can enter the Red Lotus ruins. Get things done earlier. Everyone is at ease. Coming out of the hotel, Zhang Yan took a taxi directly to the outer city. Find the last shop. Directly above the gate, the words, Jingyu Tower, are particularly conspicuous. It's a good thing it's not closed. Zhang Yan bypassed the densely packed stalls outside, and squeezed into the shop door through the gap of the crowd. Welcome. At the door, the mechanical puppet was still standing there. It pointed to the LCD screen on its chest and said, please choose the service you need. Based on the previous experience, Zhang Yan chose other services, and immediately a secret door opened from the corner of the room. After entering the secret door, it was still the familiar passage. However, the collections on both sides of the passage seemed to be different from last time. Compared with the various hardcore collections last time, this collection is obviously more artistic. It can be seen that they are all ornaments carved from various spiritual jades. That's right, all of them are Lingyu. Just by getting close, you can feel the speed of the spiritual power in your body speed up. If he stays in the tunnel for 10 days and a half a month, Yunling Pill can be saved, right? But let's not say, such a display stand is quite beautiful. When he has his own house in the future, he will also make 2 rows of shelves at the entrance, and then put all the valuable things on them. It's just too plausible. Just like visiting an exhibition, Zhang Yan admired the collections on both sides. It didn't take long to come to the end of the passage. In the room at the end of the passage, Zhang Yan saw the Cheongsam woman again. Hearing the movement, the Cheongsam woman raised her head. It's you. The Cheongsam woman smiled and said, you want to change the spirit stone again today? Does the boss still remember me? Zhang Yan went to the counter and sat down. I remember every one of my guests. The tone of the Cheongsam woman was obviously not joking. Every guest. Zhang Yan was taken aback. Wouldn't that be a photographic memory? He thinks his memory is pretty good. But compared with the real photographic memory, it is still too far away. After thinking about it, Zhang Yan could only give the woman in the Cheongsam a thumbs up. The boss deserves to be in business, and he deserves you to make money. Little brother can really talk. The Cheongsam woman covered her lips and smiled. Tell me, what do you want to buy today? I want to ask the boss, how much money do I have to spend here to be eligible to buy tickets to the film world? Zhang Yan directly stated his purpose of coming. 100 million, the Cheongsam woman said. Then what is the price of the ticket to the shadow world? Zhang Yan continued to ask. 100 low-grade spirit stones. The Cheongsam woman replied. Okay. Zhang Yan decisively took out the bank card and handed it to the woman in the Cheongsam. Then give me 500 low-grade spirit stones first, and then I will use 200 low-grade spirit stones to buy 2 tickets to the shadow world. To him, money is trivial. As long as Shu Qing goes well, he has a steady stream of income. No need to save money at times like this. Okay. The Cheongsam woman smiled more sincerely. After swiping the card, she handed 300 low-grade spirit stones and 2 special red cloth strips to Zhang Yan. Tie the cloth strip on your hand, and it will be automatically teleported to the shadow realm, and if you want to leave the shadow realm, just untie the cloth strip. Zhang Yan picked up the cloth and checked it, only to see some special lines on it. It should be a formation or a rune or something. As for whether the item is genuine or not, just take it back and show it to Su Mengran. Such a big store would not give him fake products. Little brother, do you know about the recent Sea Monster Festival? The woman in the Cheongsam asked suddenly. I know. Zhang Yan raised his head and said. I got a new batch of goods here. The Cheongsam woman opened the drawer under the counter and took out a folding fishing rod from it. This is a lucky fishing rod. It can hook good things 100%. Thank you boss for your kindness, but I'm not very interested in this kind of thing. Zhang Yan already had a complete plan in mind, and as for the lucky fishing rod, he didn't really believe in such things. Just 1 low-grade spirit stone. The Cheongsam woman blinked. You are the first customer I received today, so it is a special price, 0.1% off. So cheap. Zhang Yan was slightly taken aback. Then give me 2. Sometimes metaphysics still has to be believed. There are such things as doom sirens. Maybe the lucky fishing rod can really bring luck blessing. Certainly. The most important reason is that it is cheap enough. Not taking advantage of something is called anti-humanity. He just respected his own humanity. After leaving Jingyu Tower, Zhang Yan took a taxi to go back to the hotel just now. On the way, he looked at the 2 fishing rods in his hand. The materials of these 2 fishing rods are ordinary no matter how you look at them. It is neither an alloy nor a special ore. But he always felt that the boss would not lie. Just for the collection in that store, he is willing to trust the boss once. Let's use the synthesis table to identify it. Zhang Yan deliberately sat in the corner of the back row, so he didn't have to worry about the driver in front discovering his little tricks. After opening the synthesis table, he put the lucky fishing rod in it. Ordinary fishing rod. Ordinary in appearance and ordinary in material, but it may bring some special opportunities. Looking at the introduction of the synthesis platform, Zhang Yan was thoughtful. He didn't have much hope for something he bought with a low-grade spirit stone. The results can indeed bring special opportunities. This should be what the boss said about catching good things, right? Zhang Yan also put another fishing rod into the crafting table. Whether to synthesize an ordinary fishing rod. Synthesis. The ordinary fishing rod has been synthesized. Congratulations on getting the special fishing rod. Special fishing rod. Although it looks ordinary, it will definitely bring some special opportunities when fishing. Zhang Yan's complexion was slightly pale. Unexpectedly, synthesizing this fishing rod consumed all his spiritual power. Not even a trace was left for him. He has not encountered such a situation for a long time. It seems that this fishing rod should be of higher grade than he imagined. Buying at least 1 low-grade spirit stone is definitely a safe profit. Back at the hotel, Su Mengran had already finished her lunch. Are you finished eating now, and you don't want to save some for me? Zhang Yan walked over to take a look. Su Mengran only ordered 3 dishes, but the portions were not particularly large, at most enough for 1 person. He was running up and down hungry, but Su Mengran was comfortably enjoying the food here with the air conditioner blowing on. Why, I ordered another one for you. Su Mengran wiped the corners of her mouth with a paper towel, and added, it's a big one. It's more or less the same. Zhang Yan sat down contentedly, pulled out the chair, and then took out the red cloth strip. Take it and have a look, it cost me 200 low-grade spirit stones. 200 low-grade spirit stones. Su Mengran took the red cloth strip, first checked the pattern on it, and then tied it to her wrist to sense it, and said immediately, there is no problem with the item, but the price is a bit high. You should have been tricked by the person who sold you. Oh, there is no way, this thing is hard to come by, the source of the goods is in their hands, and the price is of course what they decide. Of course, Zhang Yan would not admit that he doubled the price. You can't let him go for nothing. It costs money to take a taxi. Su Mengran touched a ring on her finger, and an exquisite wooden box appeared on the table out of thin air. After opening it, it was full of spirit stones and beads. Zhang Yan even found a few excellent spirit stones with sharp eyes, which should be much higher quality than low-grade spirit stones. Su Mengran counted 200 low-grade spirit stones from the inside and handed them to Zhang Yan. I'll take it, this is the money for the ticket. I owe you a favor today. Even if you don't want to go to the Red Lotus ruins, you can make another request, just don't go too far. Help each other, why are you being so polite? Zhang Yan saw that Su Mengran didn't even hide that he had a storage ring, so he directly put the spirit stone into the inventory. Pretending to be poor in front of people who are poorer than yourself is called being low-key. It's superfluous to pretend to be poor in front of people who are richer than you. Seeing that Zhang Yan also has storage props, Su Mengran is not surprised at all. Through Zhang Yan's various performances during this period, if she thinks that Zhang Yan is an ordinary high school student, then she is too naive. The Sea Monster Festival will be the day after tomorrow. If you want to go, hurry up and prepare. Since you don't want to cooperate with me this time, then it will be up to you. After speaking, Su Mengran stood up and picked up the bag behind her back. Bow, the food should be ready within 10 minutes. I still have things to do, so I won't accompany you for now. All right, remember to buy the bill. Zhang Yan did not forget to remind. Su Mengran's footsteps paused for a moment, and her tone sounded like she was gnashing her teeth. When will you take the initiative to invite me to dinner? Maybe the sun is coming out from the west. Well, there will be opportunities in the future. Zhang Yan said with a ha-ha. I don't dare to count on it. Su Mengran curled her lips helplessly, and quickly walked out of the private room. After a full meal, Zhang Yan took out his mobile phone to check the news about the Sea Monster Festival. Probably because the date is approaching, and there are still many people discussing this matter on the internet. There are even some big Vs who have specially made strategies for the Sea Monster Festival. It naturally includes the address of the Sea Monster Festival, how to enter the ancient ruins, what to do after entering, and so on. Zhang Yan saved a few strategies and waited for the Sea Monster Festival with peace of mind. In a blink of an eye, 2 days passed. Early this morning, Zhang Yan received a call from Zhang Yingshe. Although they haven't seen each other often recently, they are still in contact almost every 3 days. Sister, I just woke up and am about to go out. Zhang Yan said while brushing his teeth. Do you have something to do today? I also told you to go to the Sea Monster Festival together. Zhang Yingshui's tone was slightly disappointed. Are you going to the Sea Monster Festival too? Zhang Yan was slightly taken aback. That's right. Zhang Yingshe took it for granted. This is a unique festival in Shanghai. Hundreds of thousands of people participate in it every year. I don't have any hope of getting any good things. I just heard that the scenery there is very beautiful. Just like Tanya, I made an appointment to play for 2 days. Do you want to come together? Although the Sea Monster Festival is famous, only a very small number of people can get good things every year. About the same as winning the lottery. So many people are going to join in the fun. Zhang Yingshe and Tanya were no exception. During this time, Zhang Yan locked himself in the hotel every day. Zhang Yingshe thought he was retreating. It's not good to bother him for such a trivial matter. Hundreds of thousands of people. Zhang Yan was shocked when he heard this number. No matter how awesome the Doom Sea Monster is, can it handle so many people? Xiaoyan, seeing that Zhang Yan suddenly stopped moving, Zhang Yingshe called out in doubt. Actually, I also plan to go to the Sea Monster Festival. Zhang Yan withdrew his thoughts. That's just right. Tang Ya and I will leave in about half an hour. We've already booked the car. We'll pick you up at the hotel when the time comes. Zhang Yingshe said. Okay. Zhang Yan nodded. After hanging up the phone, Zhang Yan took out the crystal ball containing the Siren of Misfortune. What's wrong? Who do you want to punish again? Doom Siren came to the edge of the crystal ball and asked listlessly. The Doom Siren felt duped. although Zhang Yan didn't put it back into the small black box that seemed to stand still in time. But in the small space where I am now, I also have everything I want. It can't even look at the scenery through the glass. However, recently Zhang Yan stays in the hotel every day, and he can't find a chance to show his talents. Anyway, let it out occasionally to let the air out. Didn't know that fish also need to socialize. This time it will definitely have a good talk with Zhang Yan. Since we want to cooperate, both parties must show sincerity. You can't say nothing. Zhang Yan didn't know the psychological activities of the misfortune siren, so he considered it carefully and said, "Can you make hundreds of thousands of people unlucky at the same time? It doesn't need to be too unlucky, just a little bit more unlucky than me. That may be a bit difficult. The larger the range of my curse, the less accurate it is. I can't control the number of people, and I don't know what the consequences will be." Doom Siren thought for a while, but if it is an earthquake, a tsunami, it is not a problem for natural disasters like strong winds to make hundreds of thousands of people unlucky in disguise. Then if it's just a building or an ancient relic that has a problem, can it be done to this extent? Zhang Yan continued to ask. Small idea, Doom Siren said confidently. That's good. Zhang Yan breathed a sigh of relief. Wait. Seeing that Zhang Yan was about to withdraw himself into the magic weapon of space again, the doomed sea monster quickly stopped. We agreed before that you would give me a good living environment, but now there is nothing in that space. Doesn't that mean you broke your promise? How can this be called breaking a promise? You can't wrong a good person. Zhang Yan quickly argued. A while ago I was too poor and couldn't afford the materials to upgrade the space. You can't let me go to the street to grab it. It's okay to rob. Whoever is powerful will have more resources. Isn't this normal? Doom Sea Monster said as a matter of course. Anyway, with them, it's basically like this. No one thought there was a problem. But I'm not that good. Zhang Yan sighed. Quote. The Doom Sea Monster was speechless. Say it like it's true. If Zhang Yan wasn't very good, how could he be locked in this broken water polo? Don't worry, when I come back this time, I will definitely build a big garden for you, and raise a few pets to accompany you, so that you will never be bored again. Zhang Yan immediately promised because he was afraid that the bad luck sea monster would be negative and slow down. Really? The Doom Siren looked at Zhang Yan suspiciously. Really? Zhang Yan kept nodding. Then trust you again. The Doom Siren snorted softly. Half an hour later, Zhang Yan and Zhang Yingshe reunited and headed to the coast of Shanghai together. When they arrived, the coast of Modu was already full of people. Let's not go there. When the ruins are opened, people within a radius of 5 kilometers will be passed in. We just wait here. Zhang Yingshe wiped the sweat from her forehead. The temperature is already high today, and there are crowds of people on the beach. Just thinking about it makes me suffocate. There is a fishing rod seller nearby. Should we go and have a look? Tang Ya said suddenly. I've already brought it, so I don't need it. Zhang Yan patted his backpack. Okay, I'll buy 2 first. How can we not go fishing at the Sea Monster Festival? If we catch a treasure, wouldn't it be a fortune? Tang Ya ran to the nearby shop after finishing speaking. Zhang Yan went to a nearby stall and bought a few bottles of water. When he came back, he saw Zhang Yingshe surrounded by a few boys. Zhang Yingshe, don't give you shame, let you follow us, it's for your face. What kind of reputation do you have now, don't you know? Leading a tall, muscular man, he looked at Zhang Yingshe with high spirits. As I said, I came here with my friends today, so I can't act with other people. Zhang Yingshe said with a cold face. Isn't it Tang Ya? That little girl is also good looking. You two come together, I don't mind having one more. Gao Hong said wretchedly. The few boys who followed him laughed. Zhang Yingshe frowned slightly. Just when she was considering whether to use vampire vines to teach these guys a lesson. Zhang Yan walked over here. Sister, who are these people? Zhang Yan looked at Gao Hong and the others and asked. I'm not familiar with the class next door. A trace of disgust flashed in Zhang Yingshui's eyes. Unfamiliar. Gao Hong immediately became angry when he heard this. I have been chasing you for more than half a year, and you told me that you are not familiar with me. I don't mind the sneaky things you did, and you are still pretending to me here. Now in Shanghai University, who doesn't know that you are a thief? Keep your mouth clean. Zhang Yan's face turned cold. Who are you on the horse? Go away, don't meddle in other people's business. Gao Hong didn't pay attention to Zhang Yan at all, his face was full of impatience. Shouldn't this place belong to the Demon City? Zhang Yan asked with his head sideways. It's already outside the city. Zhang Yingshe said. If it was in the city, Gao Hong would not dare to be so arrogant, he would take some care of it. That's good. As soon as the words finished, Zhang Yan raised his leg and kicked Gao Hong. After practicing the Lone Star art, his every move is full of cohesion. Gao Hong, who was also a Tier 2 warrior, had no time to react and was kicked out directly. Even the two men behind him suffered. This scene happened to be seen by several other Demon College students passing by. Isn't this Master Zhang? Yang Jichao stared. Why did he fight with someone? The opposite seems to be Gao Hong from the next class. I didn't see it. The master's force value is quite high, and he kicked 3 students from the Devil University. Another boy said. Li Xiaowei was beside her with a look of fear. Think of the last horror experience. If Zhang Yan hadn't reminded her, she might have lost half of her life. Fortunately, she turned back in time. If she reacted more slowly, she might end up just like Tian Li. Gao Hong got up from the ground cursing, and wiped the blood spilling from the corner of his mouth with his hand. Boy, you have some skills, but since you dare to sneak attack me, don't blame me for bullying me more. Gao Hong's eyes were full of ferocity. Give me all together, I'm going to kill this brat today. The skin was peeled. Hearing this, several boys present took out their weapons one after another. But before they had time to make a move, a group of people suddenly appeared in front of them. Gao Hong, you big men are bullying a girl, don't you want to show some face? Yang Jichao held a 9-section whip in his hand and looked at Gao Hong provocatively. Yang Jichao. Gao Hong was slightly taken aback. Is there something wrong with your brain? Some time ago, Zhang Yingshe stole your friend's exercises, and you lost your memory so quickly. Zhang Yingshe was also bewildered. She has never had any friendship with Yang Jichao and his group. In addition, Tian Li wronged her for stealing exercises. These guys have already troubled her. Now run out to help. Is it because they are in the same class? What an international joke. Yang Jichao and the others changed their faces when they heard Gao Hong bring up the old story again. What nonsense are you talking about? How could Sister Zhang steal something? It's all a misunderstanding, Li Xiaowei said quickly, fearing that Zhang Yan would get angry. Yes, I misunderstood. How could Sister Zhang like Tian Li's broken kung fu book, and when she was discharged from the hospital later, I must escort her to apologize to Sister Zhang. Yang Jichao also said solemnly. Gao Hong and the people around him looked at each other in blank dismay. These guys really have brain problems. Just as Yang Jichao was speaking, the sky suddenly became cloudy. Almost instantly, the original sunny day became gloomy. Tang Ya hurried out of the store with 2 fishing rods in her arms. It seems that the ruins are about to be opened. This fishing rod is really expensive. I've been negotiating the price for a long time. Tang Ya was speaking halfway before she found Yang Jichao, Gao Hong and the others. Her face froze for a moment, and she quickly pulled Zhang Yingshe and asked in a low voice, what's the situation with these guys? Why does it look like they're about to fight? And so close. Want to fight but can't go far. Zhang Yingshe spread her hands helplessly. Gao Hong is here to trouble me, and Yang Jichao is here to trouble Gao Hong. It's probably like this. Sister Zhang, don't be afraid. With us here, this guy doesn't want to touch a single hair of yours. Yang Jichao took the time to turn around and said. Quote ? Tang Ya was full of question marks. Miss Zhang. She must have heard it wrong. Aren't these guys with Tian Li? But now he came to help Zhang Yingshe out of the siege. Is the sun coming out in the west? Even Li Xiaowei was there. This disgusting woman is Tian Li's #1 dog. She also did a lot to slander Zhang Yingshe for stealing exercises. Boom. Suddenly, there was a humming sound above the clouds, and countless golden lights sprinkled from the gaps in the clouds. This scene is like a fairy coming down to earth. Reflect the entire nearby sea area into a piece of gold. The ruins are open. Hurry up, bring everything. Yang Jichao and others hurriedly checked the luggage. Seeing this, Zhang Yingshe also grabbed Zhang Yan with one hand and Tang Ya with the other. It's about to be teleported, be careful not to fall into the water after entering, it will be teleported back automatically when it touches sea water. As soon as Zhang Yingshe finished speaking, everyone felt a white light flash before their eyes. When the line of sight returned to normal, they were found to have appeared on a square platform. Under the platform is the sea water, and you can faintly see some fish swimming around. And there are many square platforms like this. Each platform is 5 meters wide, and the distance is also about 5 meters. Some people are more or less distributed on it. The platform where Zhang Yan and the others are located is densely packed with more than a dozen people. Unlucky, why are we on the same platform with these people? We should have run farther away. Tang Ya muttered dissatisfied. Xiaoyan, when did you take out the crystal ball? Zhang Yingshe looked at Zhang Yan strangely. She has some impressions of this crystal ball. It was used by Zhang Yan when he gave Tianli a fortune-telling last time. The key is obviously not there just now. Why did it pop up all of a sudden? I want a divination about today's fortune, Zhang Yan said with a smile. Seeing this scene, Yang Jichao and others immediately surrounded him. Master Zhang, can you give me a test? I want it too, I want it too. Zhang Yingshe was taken aback by the enthusiastic attitude of Yang Jichao and others. She was sure that she must have missed something. Otherwise, why are these guys taking the wrong medicine? It's outrageous. Holding the crystal ball in his hand, Zhang Yan pondered for a moment and said, this ancient ruin has been in disrepair for a long time and has been soaked in seawater all the year round. Not surprisingly, a large area will collapse within half an hour, but fortunately, except this platform we are on. Really? Yang Jichao's eyes widened, then we are very lucky. It must be because Master Zhang is here that the platform is safe and sound. Otherwise, why would there be no accidents here? Li Xiaowei's mouth was wiped with honey, and all the tricks she used on Tian Li to please Zhang Yan were used, here. Both Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya couldn't take it any longer. Isn't it? This kid made up a few random sentences, do you still take it seriously? Gao Hong laughed when he saw the reactions of Yang Jichao and Li Xiaowei beside him. None of your business. Li Xiaowei gave Gao Hong a contemptuous glance. If you dare to look down on Master Yang's divination skills, you will regret it later. Ouch, being played around by a brat, you thought you found a treasure. Gao Hong laughed until his stomach ached. The key is that these people look so serious, it's really super funny. Boss, there are too many people here. I see that there are only 2 people on the third platform on the left. Let's go there, someone immediately suggested. Let's go, let's go. Gao Hong twisted his neck, I still don't believe that this platform can collapse. After finishing speaking, Gao Hong squatted down slightly, immediately jumped up, and easily reached the next platform. Several other people followed closely. They really don't believe in evil. Yang Jichao shook his head, as if he had foreseen the fate of Gao Hong and others. Zhang Yan didn't care about the contest between Yang Jichao and Gao Hong. He took out his lucky fishing rod, put on the bait in a dignified manner, and prepared to start fishing. This is what the Sea Monster Festival calls luck. Because no one knows what can be caught. Zhang Yan mainly wanted to try the effect of the lucky fishing rod, and he didn't really care if he caught something good. After all, he came here mainly for the inheritance of immortals. After putting on the bait, Zhang Yan threw the hook into the water. At this time, Zhang Yingshe and Tang Ya came to him. Xiaoyan, is what you said just now true or false? Is this place really going to collapse? Zhang Yingshe asked softly. Of course it's true, Zhang Yan said. He checked the strategy in advance, so he naturally knew what the terrain of the ruins was like. From many options, he finally chose this method. It can ensure that others are eliminated. It can also guarantee that he will stay in the ruins safe and sound. It's just that everyone wants to participate in the Sea Monster Festival again next year, so the competition may be a little bit fierce. After all, it was originally a platform that could accommodate hundreds of thousands of people. Today only one remains. Can't this be crushed? However, this had no effect on the results. Originally, there was only one person who received the immortal inheritance. He just helped everyone turn the on-court competition into off-court competition. Suddenly, Zhang Yan felt the fishing rod in his hand move. Did you catch something so quickly? Zhang Yan was overjoyed. It seemed that the blessing effect of the lucky fishing rod was pretty good. Hurry up, let's see what we caught, Tang Ya urged. Zhang Yan lifted the fishing rod up vigorously. In the end, it couldn't be pulled. Just when he was dazed, a bloody mouth rushed out of the water. It bared its teeth, and opened its mouth to bite Zhang Yan. It was Zhang Yingshe who reacted quickly. Standing up quickly, he kicked the fish back again. Let's go. Sea Monster Festival has been going on for so many years, and this is the first time I've seen someone catch a monster, Tang Ya said with a face full of surprise. Xiaoyan, I really don't know whether to say you are lucky or not. Zhang Yingshe also looked at Zhang Yan sympathetically. The relics of the Sea Monster Festival are the rare pure welfare relics. Although it depends on luck to get good things, but fortunately there is no danger here. There has never been such a precedent for a monster being caught in the ruins. Zhang Yan looked at the fishing rod in his hand, and the corner of his mouth twitched. There is absolutely something wrong with this fishing rod. I'll try again. Zhang Yan felt a little unconvinced, and put the hook down again. This time I even forgot to put on the bait. About 5 minutes later, Zhang Yan once again sensed a premonition. He jerked the fishing rod upwards. A black thing flew out and landed on the platform with a bang. Discovering the movement here, Yang Jichao and the others looked over curiously. What is this? Hey, it seems to be moving, so disgusting. The black lump of flesh squirmed a few times on the platform, and suddenly turned into a little monster with arms and legs. It is about half a meter tall, with a flat head and a big mouth. 2 beards grow on both sides of the mouth, shaking with its movements. Monster beast, Master Zhang has caught a monster again. Yang Jichao was full of excitement, but the master's physique was different, and he caught a monster twice in a row. A situation that has not been encountered in the Sea Monster Festival for decades. Zhang Yan appeared twice in a row. Isn't that awesome? The little monster got up from the ground, touched its body with its little paws, and finally put it on its chubby buttocks. Ouch, my old waist. Seeing this scene, Yang Jichao and others immediately petrified. Say, I've spoken, Tang Ya stammered. Has the catfish become a spirit? Zhang Yingshui's eyes were also full of panic. Little girl, you don't know how to be polite. Catfish spirit gave Zhang Yingshe a dissatisfied look. I'm an elf, do elves understand? Quote. Zhang Yan wanted to throw the fishing rod out. It turns out that the special mentioned in the attribute is such a special method. What did you catch him all this time? Can you do something useful? How could an elf look like you? You are clearly a fish, Tang Ya said bluntly. And it's a fish with arms and legs. Looks weird. I don't know how to be polite. Catfish Jing twitched his beard in anger. I am the guardian of the ruins. If you make me unhappy, be careful and send you all out. Guardian of the ruins. Tang Ya stuck out her tongue. Pretend I didn't say anything. No matter what the catfish essence said is true or false. It is obviously not a wise choice to talk back at this time. That's about the same. The catfish spirit snorted softly, and then limped up to Zhang Yan. Boy, what's the matter with you? I slept well on the bottom of the sea, and somehow I was caught by you. Quote. The bottom of the sea. Zhang Yan looked at the fishing line he had lowered, then turned around and said, as the bottom of the sea here only a few meters deep. He didn't doubt much about catfish spirit's words. Usually there are guardians, guardian beasts and the like in ancient ruins. Those who obviously have little combat power like catfish essence should also exist like mascots. How could it be only a few meters away? I sleep in an underwater temple 2,000 meters away from here. If any of you get possessed by a fairy, they will be sent to the underwater temple. Catfish spirit stroked his mustache and said. Hearing this, Zhang Yan was sure that there was something wrong with the fishing rod. Now think about it carefully, there is nothing wrong with what is said in the attribute introduction. Special items are bound to be caught, but good things are not guaranteed to be caught. It seems that he made a mistake. Fortunately, 2 low-grade spirit stones are not expensive, so if you catch a guardian of the ruins, you can at least find out more about the ruins. You say you are the guardian of the relics, you have to find a way to prove yourself. Just now I even caught a monster. What if you were a monster pretending to be? Zhang Yan said with one hand on his knee. Prove yourself. Catfish spirit suddenly laughed. My duty is to choose the successor of the immortal at the last moment, but since you dare to suspect that I am a monster, don't even think about inheriting the immortal. Zhang Yan was not angry either, and said in a leisurely manner, then you can stay here with peace of mind. Anyway, wait for the successor, it must appear on our platform. Are you so sure? Catfish Essence's small eyes were full of puzzlement, and then suddenly realized, you guys, you don't mean to kidnap me, do you? Zhang Yan, what brain circuit is this thing? Catfish King jumped back with his elastic calf, looked at Zhang Yan vigilantly and said, be honest, are you trying to do something wrong to me? Zhang Yan, not interested. Master Guard, you misunderstood. In fact, apart from our platform, other platforms will collapse. That's why the master said that the last inheritor will only appear on this platform. Yang Jichao quickly explained to Zhang Yan. Li Xiaowei and others also recalled it. Yup, if only their platform wouldn't collapse. Then the last inheritor must appear on this platform. Such a good thing like a pie in the sky, can they meet it? Are you kidding me? Catfish Spirit snorted coldly. These platforms are all blessed by formations, and they will not be damaged for thousands of years. You have been deceived by this kid. Yang Jichao and the others were stunned. Zhang Yan said the platform would collapse. Catfish Spirit also said that the platform will not be damaged for thousands of years. Now, who should they listen to? On a platform not far away, Su Mengran sat cross-legged on the edge. She seemed to be arranging fishing tools, but she was actually communicating with her contracted beast. Xiaohei, find the formation as soon as possible, we are running out of time. At the same time, a black snake with a length of 70 or 80 meters was swimming on the bottom of the sea. Hearing Su Mengran's sound transmission, it immediately speeded up. Seeing that it was getting closer and closer to the undersea temple, suddenly an unknown force locked on it. There was a trace of panic in the black snake's eyes. But no matter how hard it struggled, it couldn't break free from the shackles of this force. I can only watch helplessly as the underwater temple gets farther and farther away. Finally disappeared from sight. On the other side, Zhang Yan just glanced at the time on his phone. Half an hour away, only 3 minutes left. It should start soon. Wait, what will happen? In fact, he doesn't know. But preparations still need to be done. Zhang Yan released the vampire vine in advance and hid it under the platform. In case of any accident, etc., make sure you don't fall into the sea. At this moment, he suddenly felt the fishing rod in his hand sink. Did you catch something again? Hearing the movement, all creatures on the platform looked over. First time hunting monsters, fishing for the guardian beast of the ruins for the second time. What will catch the third time? Zhang Yan pulled the fishing rod a few times, and he always felt that the size of the fish caught this time should not be small. Gulu gulu. Just as he was thinking, a large number of bubbles suddenly began to appear on the calm water surface. And the movement is getting bigger and bigger. Immediately, a black shadow quickly approached, and at the same time, a strong sense of oppression hit. Zhang Yan quickly took 2 steps back, but the fishing rod also pulled back. This pull directly pulled out a huge snake head. Its icy eyes looked down at everyone present. At that moment, the scene fell into a brief silence. What? It is not known who uttered a scream. There was chaos all around. Why are there monsters here? What a powerful spiritual pressure. This monster must be of a high level. It's over, it's over. Hurry up and jump into the sea, and you will be able to spread it when you touch the sea water. Yes, yes, jump into the sea. The people on the next few platforms were all scared to death. Those with poor mental quality jumped off the platform one after another. Just like the dumplings in the water, it is quite spectacular. Su Mengran heard the movement not far away and turned her head to look. As a result, a mouthful of old blood was almost spurted out. How could her contract beast appear here? And she also saw Zhang Yan. Xiaohei, what's going on? Su Mengran quickly sent a voice transmission. Master, I was caught by a human. He Jiao replied helplessly. Quote. Su Mengran looked at the fishing rod in Zhang Yan's hand. After a long time, her contracted beast was caught by Zhang Yan. Does this guy have a grudge against her? What made her feel even more outrageous was that her contracted beast was obviously a spirit beast, but was caught by a fishing rod. Is this reasonable? Su Mengran took a deep breath and said, stop being intimidating, continue with the plan just now. But as soon as she finished speaking, the platform suddenly shook violently. At the same time, the sea also set off waves. What's the situation? Su Mengran was slightly taken aback. The formation on the bottom of the sea should not be destroyed yet. Why does this place look like it's about to collapse? Crack. The platform under Su Mengran's feet suddenly cracked a gap. Seeing this, she could only jump to the next platform first. But that's not the worst. Above the platform is a huge semi-arc dome. With the shaking, the dome slowly cracked. Stones, large and small, kept falling down. Many people found that the ruins were about to collapse, and they jumped into the sea. Gao Hong and the others were also shocked. How can a good ruin collapse if it is said to collapse? Boss, it's exactly half an hour now. A person next to him said with a face full of horror. What that kid said is true, he actually has the ability to predict the future. How could Gao Hong not know this? He gritted his teeth and said, let's jump into the sea first, and wait until the ruins collapse. It will be a disaster if you can't get out. Now I can only pray that Zhang Yan will not hold grudges and trouble him. The others nodded one after another, and then all jumped off the platform. Looking at everything happening around, Yang Jichao and others' admiration for Zhang Yan has reached its peak. Too fierce. This is a fairy, right? Even the guardian of the ruins didn't know about it, but Zhang Yan told him verbatim. They chose to follow Zhang Yan, it was really wise. But now comes the problem. What is this black snake going to do? Although according to Zhang Yan, their platform will be fine. But that's just that the platform will be fine, it doesn't mean that people will be fine. Judging by the size of these black snakes, they are not enough to put people's teeth between them. Sister, you go back first. Zhang Yan said with his head turned. Xiaoyan, what should you do? Zhang Yingshe was worried. Although the black snake doesn't seem to attack anyone, no one can be sure what will happen in the next second. Of course I have a solution, but if you are here, I might be distracted. In fact, Zhang Yan didn't dare to act rashly, for fear of accidentally angering the black snake in front of him. He is ready to put this guy in the decomposition column at any time. It's just that there are too many people in front of him, and it's not convenient for him to do it. Hearing this, Zhang Yingshe stopped asking any more questions immediately. Then you have to be careful. After finishing speaking, Zhang Yingshe pulled up Tang Ya who didn't know why, and jumped off the platform. Yang Jichao and others have retreated to the edge of the platform. Seeing that Zhang Yingshe jumped into the sea, they finally couldn't bear it anymore. Sister Zhang has danced, let's dance too. With a few, plop, diving sounds sounded. The area around Zhang Yan was finally quiet. Only the catfish spirit was left sitting there in a daze. On the other side, Su Mengran was almost unable to hold on. More and more stones fell, and she could hardly find a place to stay. Xiaohei, why are you still not moving? Hurry up and pick me up. Su Mengran's mentality was about to collapse. She had planned well, but who knew that the ruins were about to collapse? What kind of luck is she doing? Master, this fishhook is hanging on my body, I can't move it. He Jiao was also in a hurry, couldn't this guy take the fishing rod back? Isn't it tiring to keep in action? Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Su Mengran's head was full of question marks, what the hell is it that he can't move? What kind of fishing rod is Zhang Yan holding in his hand? Terrible. Su Mengran jumped onto a broken platform. She looked around, and the nearest foothold to her was at least 50 meters away. I can only gamble. Su Mengran took out the long sword and swiped towards the water. I saw a sword chi flying out. The sword energy touched the water surface, and the water surface immediately began to freeze. At this moment, another boulder fell. Su Mengran immediately jumped and landed on the ice smoothly. Seeing that it was not sent out, Su Mengran was overjoyed. This method really works. But before she was happy for too long, she found that the ice surface had cracked. Surroundings were also surging waves, with seawater constantly rushing onto the ice. Su Mengran could only move forward while freezing the surrounding seawater. Seeing that it was about to approach the next landing platform, a beam above the dome fell directly. Su Mengran had no time to retreat, and was submerged by the splashing sea water. At the same time, the black snake in front of Zhang Yan also disappeared out of thin air. Zhang Yan let out a long breath. Fortunately, This black snake is a fool, it can only pretend but not move. If you put this guy in the decomposition column, I'm afraid you won't be able to move it for a while. Occupying the decomposition column, he lost a life-saving hole card. It's fine now. After a while, the vibration of the ruins finally stopped. In the entire ruins, Zhang Yan was finally the only one left. Now you can only choose me. Zhang Yan turned his head and looked at the catfish essence spread out on the ground. The catfish spirit is full of lovelessness. Why is this so? It really doesn't want to choose this guy who catches it. It's not time yet, just wait. Catfish essence sat on the ground, only thinking about dragging Zhang Yan for a while. The ruins were only open for half an hour, and this kid got the immortal inheritance. Doesn't it seem that inheritance is easy to obtain? It must not make Zhang Yan too proud. Then I continue fishing. Zhang Yan raised the fishing rod in his hand. Don't. Catfish spirit was scared when he saw Zhang Yan's fishing rod, and quickly got up from the ground. You must stop fishing, I'd better take you to the underwater temple first. It's really afraid that Zhang Yan will catch something again and bring down the last platform. The ruins will not need to be opened next year. It also has since lost its job. Thinking of the long years to come, no one will come to the ruins again. It's more terrifying than a nightmare. Then please lead the way. Zhang Yan took the blood-sucking vine back, and put the fishing rod into the inventory. You kid, you hide quite deeply. The catfish spirit glanced at the vampire vine, then reached out and picked it in his mouth, and then began to retch non-stop. After a while, the catfish spit out a bead covered in mucus. It picked up the beads and wiped them on its body. However, it was of no use. On the contrary, the more you wipe the more mucus. Zhang Yan, could it be any more disgusting? This thing can be the guardian of the ruins, I really don't know what the owner of the ruins is like. Catfish essence wiped the beads for a long time, and then came to the middle of the platform. It pawed in the middle of the platform a few times with its hands, and finally pulled out a small groove, and then put the beads into the groove. At first, Zhang Yan thought it was over. As a result, the catfish spirit walked around the beads twice, and picked them up in its mouth again. This time the thing is bigger, it is a ray. Catfish Jing's mouth was almost bursting, and this thing was taken out. There are not only mucus hanging on it, but also some red and white, I don't know if it is something from internal organs. Zhang Yan's face turned blue. It turns out there is something worse. The catfish essence puts the array plate on the beads again, and the beads just fit into the small hole in the middle of the array plate. There was a click sound. The array finally started to work. Numerous patterns extend outward from the center of the formation plate, forming a complete formation soon. Stand over here. Catfish fine punch Zhang Yan hooked his hand. Zhang Yan fought back his nausea and walked over. Although there was still a little distance, he could already smell the catfish essence and the fishy smell on the array plate. There was a sudden beating in his heart. The owner of this ruins, are you sure he is a decent immortal? When Zhang Yan was in doubt, he had already been sent to the undersea temple by the formation. Now, the stench is finally gone. But it has a faint fishy smell. Zhang Yan observed the surrounding environment. This should be the garden outside the temple. There is a pool on both sides. It was dark inside, and I didn't know what was in it. The temple is surrounded by a layer of transparent enchantment, and all the seawater is blocked by the enchantment. In the sea, there are no living things visible to the naked eye. But some small round balls can be seen faintly, floating back and forth in the sea water. These should be the rewards that can be caught by luck. There are probably some materials, pills, props and other items inside. But their platform is full of unlucky guys, and they haven't caught anything. Only he caught 3 things, and each time they were more wonderful. I won't mention this. It's not time for the immortal to be possessed yet. You can wander around in the temple. You can also get rewards here, but you are usually allowed to explore after the immortal is possessed. Since you came so early, you are idle if you are idle. I'll let you enjoy it in advance. Catfish Jing really didn't want to see Zhang Yan's face. Save time if you can. Hurry up to complete the task and send Zhang Yan out so that he can continue to sleep. Okay, then I'll take a look at it casually. Zhang Yan rolled up his sleeves and released the vampire vine, then controlled the vampire vine to go to the nearest pool first. There is nothing else here. But in line with the mentality of not being missed, it is definitely necessary to find out every corner. The vampire vine swam around in the pool, and then returned to the shore with a lot of things. Zhang Yan took a closer look, only to find that they were all skeletons. Seeing this, Catfish Essence immediately explained, "In this ruins, although most places are safe, small accidents may occasionally occur, so you don't need to pay too much attention to it." Zhang Yan didn't speak, and continued to control the vampire vine to go to another pool. The catfish spirit pouted, "I didn't realize that this kid's psychological quality is so good. For ordinary people, it must be unlucky to take out human bones from a pond." I didn't bother to look at the other pool. Zhang Yan, on the other hand, refused to let go of even a single bit of it. The vampire vine swam twice in the pool. This time, naturally another pile of skeletons was salvaged. But the difference is that there is still something on one of the skeletons that hasn't rotted. It was an extremely low-key ring with a blue spar the size of a mung bean inlaid on it. Zhang Yan stepped forward to take off the ring, and use the synthesis table to appraise it. Storage ring. There are 3 cubic spaces inside. After reading the introduction, Zhang Yan raised his eyebrows. Storage props. This thing is rare. Although he has inventory and space magic, the storage ring is not used at all. But the main material for refining the storage ring is the purest space material, nanocrystal. This thing is not bad for upgrading the magic weapon of space. Zhang Yan directly recognized the owner of the storage ring dripping blood. Originally, I wanted to take out the contents first. But when he checked it, it was empty inside, not even a hair. But Zhang Yan didn't think much about it. Putting the storage ring into the inventory, he turned and walked into the temple. The temple doesn't look that big from the outside. But there are 5 layers. The first floor is an empty hall. Except for a few pillars carved with patterns, there is only one statue in the middle of the hall. This statue is carved so lifelike. Flat head, big mouth, long beard. Even the scales on his body are distinct and full of luster. The moment he saw the statue, Zhang Yan finally understood why this temple was full of fishy smell. It turns out that the owner of this temple is a fish. It looks 7 or 8 points similar to catfish essence. But the body is covered with scales. Without the scales, this is an ancestor catfish. But with an extra layer of scales, it will be completely different. It's downright ugly. Zhang Yan stepped forward, ready to climb on top of the statue to see if there was anything. Catfish spirit was in a hurry. "You brat, come down quickly, how could you desecrate the god's statue?" "Didn't I want to look more carefully?" Zhang Yan continued to climb up while talking, until he came to the head of the fish. He found that the middle of the statue was hollow, filled with various equipment and weapons. Moreover, these equipped weapons have obviously been used by people. Suddenly, Zhang Yan understood. He said how the skeletons outside were so clean, so everything was here. "Are you sure it's the inheritance of immortals, not robbery?" Zhang Yan supported the statue with one hand, looked down at Nao Yu Jingdao. He felt strange from just now. Logically speaking, Inheritance Dungeon is not in any danger. But many people died here. Although compared with the age of the ruins, those corpses are not worth mentioning. Occasionally 1 or 2 people are missing, and the outside world doesn't care. But this obviously violates the principle of inheriting copies. Unless someone is playing tricks here. Strictly speaking, the other party is not even human. "Brat, what are you talking about?" Catfish Essence put his hands on his chubby waist, his face full of righteousness. "These people died in the temple, and it would be a waste to leave them, so I collected them and used them to worship the immortals. Is there a problem? The brains of the statue have been hollowed out. You tell me that this is a statue dedicated to the god." Zhang Yan glanced at the gap on the top of the head, which clearly showed the traces of artificial slotting. If it is to enshrine a statue of a god, then it should be respectful to the statue of the god, so how could it be such a disrespectful act? Anyway, you are not allowed to move anything here, otherwise you will forget about the inheritance of immortals. Catfish Spirit was too lazy to explain, and urged impatiently, "Hurry up, there are 5 floors in the temple, your speed is so slow, wait, don't blame me for not reminding you if you can't catch up with the immortal inheritance." The catfish essence used the immortal inheritance as a threat twice in succession, which further showed that there was a problem here. But Zhang Yan didn't expose it either. Controlling the vampire vines, they searched every corner of the hall. After confirming that nothing was found, they set off for the second floor. The shape of the temple is steeple-shaped, so the area becomes smaller as you go up. Arriving at the second floor, it is obvious that the space is much narrower. But still empty. At a glance, there is only a dilapidated wooden box in the innermost part of the temple. There are also some small squares of different colors on the ground. On this floor, you have to be careful. If you want to get the things in the wooden box, you have to pass through these squares. If you step on the wrong one, you may become disabled. Catfish Spirit stroked his beard with a bad face, laughed. Originally, it just wanted to scare Zhang Yan, but Zhang Yan turned his head and walked towards the third floor. Hey, you're going in the wrong direction. Catfish Spirit called Zhang Yan quickly. I don't want the head office, do I? Zhang Yan spread his hands. This temple has been looted many times. What good things can be left for him? He will never touch any place that is obviously dangerous. And wait, don't you still have to be possessed by a fairy? See all the places you can see first. For things that are inconvenient to take, wait for the immortal to take them, and there will be no delay. You kid, why are you greedy for life and afraid of death? This is a test given to you by the immortal. The Catfish Spirit was very dissatisfied. It was the first time it met such a disobedient chosen person. In the past, whoever was selected by it, who was not grateful, did what it asked. As a result, Zhang Yan entered the temple, rummaged around, and discovered all the secrets of the statue. It was a slightly dangerous test, but he still disliked it. It's so pissed off, but it can't say anything about Zhang Yan. After all, in terms of rules, this is completely permissible. Just when the squid was sulking, Zhang Yan had come to the third floor alone. To Zhang Yan's surprise, the reward on the third floor was also a wooden box. The so-called tests are some iron balls falling in the air. These iron balls have a diameter of 2 or 3 meters. If you are accidentally hit, you will be permanently disabled if you don't die. But this kind of simple and rude without any test of technical content, appearing in a heritage relic, it seems a bit cheap and unimaginable. Could it be that the content of the inheritance relics has changed because of the different breeds of the temple owners? Zhang Yan is not so sure. He decided to use the vampire vine to get the wooden box first, and then look at the rewards inside. The test of this level is different from that of the second level. Even if the iron ball falls, it will only hit the ground in the middle. There are almost no corners around the walls. Vampire vines can pass easily. Before the catfish essence came up, Zhang Yan controlled the vampire vine and rushed over at the fastest speed. Catfish have short legs and slow movements. When it climbed up to the third floor, the wooden box was already in Zhang Yan's hands. The rewards at this level are considered to be free for you. Catfish Spirit said angrily. Although very unconvinced. But Zhang Yan has the ability to manipulate plants. This level of checkpoint is not difficult for him at all. Zhang Yan was holding a dagger in his hand, with a thoughtful expression on his face. Silly boy, this is a D-grade alloy weapon. You've made a lot of money. Catfish Spirit thought that Zhang Yan was ignorant, so he deliberately explained. Let's go to the next floor. Zhang Yan put the weapon into the inventory and continued to the fourth floor. Hey, let me catch my breath. Catfish Spirit felt that he had definitely exceeded the limit of activity today, but he was afraid that Zhang Yan would mess around by himself, so he gritted his teeth and followed. When I came to the fourth floor, I found another wooden box and some rough traps. Zhang Yan didn't even bother to look, and ran straight to the fifth floor. This time, finally, something real. It was a token wrapped in water, floating quietly above a platform. Zhang Yan wanted to take a closer look, but when he was 2 meters away from the platform, he was stopped by an invisible force. However, he found some text on the platform. The above is the introduction of this token. According to legend, the Poseidon token is a token made by the Poseidon from his own scales, which can summon the Sea Clan to assist in the battle. The number of Sea Clans summoned is related to one's own strength. To obtain the Sea God token, a trace of Sea God's power is needed. The power of the Sea God. Zhang Yan recalled the statue he saw on the first floor of the temple just now. After being possessed by that thing, could he have the power of the Sea God? Do not. It shouldn't be that simple. Otherwise, people would be sent in every year, and this token would have been taken away long ago. Still have his turn. At this time, the catfish spirit finally exhausted all its strength and rushed to the 5th floor of the temple. It was covered in mucus, almost covering its eyes. This thing. You can't move. Catfish spirit panted. Why? Zhang Yan pretended not to understand. It doesn't mean that with the power of the sea god, you can get this token. After being possessed by a fairy, you should be able to take the token off. You have a beautiful idea. Catfish spirit squinted at Zhang Yan. How can a fairy be compared to a god? The master wants to wait for a genius with the power of the sea god in his body to inherit this token. After a pause, the catfish spirit continued. However, most of those who possess the power of the sea god in their bodies are sea people like me. Human beings or water attribute spiritual masters, but the level of spiritual veins is there. If you want to reach the level of the gods, leveling up is harder than climbing to the sky. God level. Zhang Yan rubbed his chin. How do you feel that this thing is tailor-made for him? He came to this ancient ruins today to synthesize the Shenmai pill. After possessing the divine veins, he will possess spiritual power of 8 attributes. Among them, the water system is naturally included. But is it the power of the sea god mentioned by the catfish spirit? Then you have to try it to know. By the way, why don't you take the box downstairs? The things inside are much better than those on the 3rd floor. Catfish spirit suddenly remembered and said. The trap on the 4th floor is the most lethal. But nothing can be seen on the surface. It is still waiting for Zhang Yan to step on the pit. As a result, they went straight to the 5th floor. Seeing that Zhang Yan was still staring at the sea god token, Catfish Essence couldn't help but rolled his eyes. Stop looking at the sea god token, this thing doesn't belong to you. The things in those wooden boxes were put in at the back, right? Zhang Yan turned around and asked. What do you mean? Catfish spirit was slightly taken aback. If you don't understand, let me put it another way, where is the original reward in the wooden box? Zhang Yan looked at Nao Yujing and asked. What nonsense are you talking about again? This time, Catfish Spirit's eyes finally showed a hint of guilt. The rewards in the wooden boxes will be refreshed every round. You ask me, how do I know? Then how do you know that the rewards on the 4th floor are better than those on the 3rd floor? Zhang Yan raised his eyebrows. Alloy weapons are a type of weapon that only appeared in the past few decades, which is much shorter than the year that this relic appeared. But you told me that the D-grade alloy weapon in the wooden box was preset in advance. You don't care so much, it's enough if things are good. Catfish Spirit knew that he couldn't hide it, so he broke the can and threw it. If I'm not wrong, those traps were set by you. If any unlucky person dies here, you will collect their inheritance and use it as a reward for the next time. But the temple is so big, and you have no place to hide, so you can only put things in the statue, because most people who come to accept the inheritance of the immortal will definitely respect the statue, and the statue is naturally the safest place. Quote. As for why you did this, it's most likely because the things in the wooden box are still on you. You don't want to hand them over, and you have to make the ruins work normally. You can only use this method. After listening to Zhang Yan's analysis, Catfish Spirit was silent for a while, and then said, You are very smart, but sometimes being too smart is not a good thing. Catfish Essence looked up at the top of the hall. Inheritance is about to begin, get ready. As the Catfish Spirit finished speaking, a golden light fell from the sky and hit Zhang Yan. Zhang Yan didn't expect the immortal inheritance to come so suddenly. There seemed to be the sound of water flowing in his ears, and there were bursts of sounds from heaven. In a daze, he saw countless schools of fish swimming past his eyes. In the deep blue sea. All of this is as beautiful as a painting. When Zhang Yan came back to his senses, the immortal possession had obviously been completed. He was covered in golden light. Not only is there plenty of spiritual power in the body, but also a lot of memories in the mind. That's a lot of martial arts and spiritual skills. From simple to complex, there are hundreds of kinds. It's only 10 minutes for the immortal to be possessed. Hurry up and comprehend it. How much you can comprehend depends entirely on your ability. There was a chill in the Catfish Spirit's eyes. When the fairy possessing is over, it will let this kid know what is coming and going. Now that you know its secret, then keep it as a secret forever. 10 minutes. Zhang Yan's mouth twitched. He originally thought that it would not take much effort to synthesize the divine vein pill, and he might be able to use the remaining time to comprehend some advanced exercises or something. Who knew that the immortal possessed only 10 minutes? It's not enough to just comprehend a book of low-level martial arts and martial arts. Forget it, martial arts and martial arts, there will be opportunities to combine them in the future. It is better to synthesize the Shinmai pill first. With the spiritual power of a fairy this time, he should be able to succeed. Zhang Yan directly opened the universal synthesis table, and added the Shinmai pill and medicine core in the item bar. Is it possible to synthesize Shinmai pill plus medicine core? Seeing the prompt, Zhang Yan's eyes lit up. It really works. Synthesis. Zhang Yan immediately chose to confirm. Shinmai pill plus medicine core has been synthesized. Congratulations on getting Shinmai pill. Shinmai pill. After taking it, you can get 10 kinds of divine powers. In addition to the 8 kinds of divine powers of gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder, and ice, you can also get 2 additional divine powers of light and darkness. After reading the introduction, Zhang Yan felt his heart beating faster. 10 divine powers, even the 2 divine powers of light and darkness are included. Now it's out. You must know that in the online game, the heavens, there is no way for players to obtain the 2 divine powers of light and darkness. It can only be seen on some very few bosses. That power is what many players dream of. Now that he has traveled to the real world of the heavens, he has obtained 2 divine powers of light and darkness at the same time. This is real divine power, not a bunch of data in online games. It's not so cool to dream of. But divine power is also divided into levels. He only has the strength of a tier 2 warrior now. The spiritual power in the body is converted into divine power, which may only be as big as a fingernail, and it is not bad to be able to use a complete move. But Zhang Yan is already content. 10 kinds of divine powers are in hand, what more peaches do I need? ... Catfish spirit stayed aside, ready to strike at any time. As a result, Zhang Yan was agitated and smirked for a while. Almost half of the time has passed, and I haven't begun to comprehend the content of the inheritance. This guy won't be silly after seeing so many martial arts and martial arts. Catfish spirit shook his head speechlessly. Originally, it thought Zhang Yan was very powerful. As a result, the psychological endurance is so poor. This kind of person is destined to be difficult to become a master. It is not wrong to die in its hands. Just as Catfish Jing was making up his mind, Zhang Yan suddenly looked at it. Because Zhang Yan discovered that after synthesizing the Shinmai pill, there was still some spiritual power left in his body. At this time, instead of synthesizing something, you have to decompose something. Otherwise it would be a waste. Why are you looking at me like that? Catfish's mental sutra tensed up instantly. It always felt that the way Zhang Yan looked at him was unspeakably terrifying. It was as if it was already a dead fish. But shouldn't Zhang Yan be his prey now? Zhang Yan didn't speak, but just took a few steps forward. Seeing that the distance is almost the same, he looked down at Catfish Spirit and said, "Brother, you, go." Quote. Before the third question mark came out of Now Yujing's mind, Zhang Yan had already put it into the decomposition column. Do you want to decompose the Guardian of the Ruins? Breakdown. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.